Let's fire it up. Hey, what's up, weirdos? It's Mark Splude, and this is episode 112 of the SPLUDECAST. Fucking Ramones, baby. My guests this week. Guests. I got two of them, man. I got Jon Nesbitt back on here by popular demand. And I have his podcast co-host, Mr. Austin Hill, on the show for the first time. Now, I felt kind of weird about this. I didn't want Austin to, for his first time to be on here with somebody else. But he kind of, suggested it. And it worked out great. I'm going to have Austin back on. Excuse me. We're going to have Austin back on and just solo, sit down, shoot the shit with him, man. Great guy. Love Austin, man. He's got the best smile on the New Brunswick comedy scene. No fucking doubt about it. Great kid, man. Of course, Jon Nesbitt. Great fucking guy. Man, he goes fucking deep in this one. I wanted to have him back. I got quite a few emails, actually, about Jon, and the fans really dug him, and the listeners dug him. And they really dug the conspiracy stuff. We get into some of that shit now. I'll be honest, man. I don't remember a lot of the shit that we fucking talked about. We pre-recorded this on a Sunday night. Now, typically, it's all fucking pre-recorded, but typically I record on Monday nights for this show, Tuesday nights for the Scrapcast. Man, we had a fucking dynamite show last night. Check that out, Scrapcast episode 30. Dropped on Tuesday. Anyway. I had to have them over on Sunday night. Hey, listen, man, Monday, October 22nd, was the first day of the hunt, the opening of the deer season here in New Brunswick. And, I knew I wasn't going to be in any fucking shape after sitting in the blind for 12 hours with my boy. I knew I wasn't going to be in any shape to record a podcast. So we recorded this Sunday night. I had a great fucking time with the boys. I'll get back to the fucking hunt. And we will get to Austin and Nesbitt right after. What's been going on with me lately? Man, alive. Busy, fucking busy, man. God damn it, I've been fucking busy. I'll tell you, this weekend, it was just a fantastic weekend. It was a good weekend, man. Saturday, signed up for the workshop with Kenny Robinson and Darren Frost. Of course, my brother, Trevor Muxworthy made the trip down from Fredericton for that workshop. What a great fucking time, man. I mean, all kinds of great fucking people there. Austin Hill, Jon Nesbitt, among them, Dan Terrio, almost all former guests of this fucking show. And we had a damn good time. What a workshop, man. The shit I fucking learned from, first of all, from Darren, man. Darren did about 2.5 hours, just basically fucking filling our heads with all the info we could possibly use. One of the things I found most useful was he really broke down the roles of people on a comedy show, the role of the MC, the do's and do nots of MCing, the do's and do nots of middling, and what the job of the fucking headliner is, and how a show could go. Man, just ton of fucking useful information over 2.5 hours. Took a lot of questions. Man, I love Darren. If you haven't heard it yet, go back and listen to my podcast with Darren Frost. I think it was maybe 109. I don't know. It wasn't that fucking far back. Great podcast. Man, it was just great to see Darren. Got to spend quite a bit of time with Darren and Kenny while they were in town here, which was really cool. And, of course, Kenny's portion of it, man, he made us do these fucking newspaper clippings, and we had to come up with material on the spot, and he was fucking talking the whole time where we were trying to write. He was supposed to give us a total of 15 minutes. I think we got about 4.5 fucking minutes before we hit the stage and, and performed this fucking material we just wrote. Bit of a fucking shit show, man, but it was fun. It was an exercise in working, as a fucking group, kind of a writer's room kind of deal. I mean, we all sat down and wrote our own material, but then once we took the stage, then everybody kind of just yelled out tags and where we could go with this fucking joke or whatever. Very interesting exercise, man. It's not, it's not my style. It's not how I write comedy. I don't write comedy out of the fucking newspaper. Not saying that there's anything wrong about it. I don't know why I said it like, I don't fucking write comedy out of the newspaper. Man, if that's your fucking process, good for you. I mean, how fucking, it's great if you can do that. Because you're never going to have writer's block, right? No, I typically for me, I'm writing more from personal experience and personal observations, mostly personal experience. So, but it was interesting to step outside of my box a little bit and be forced to write something from this one fucking headline out of the newspaper. I'll tell you one thing, in the morning, I had such a great fucking Saturday, man. I got up Saturday morning, did some shit around the house, and then I went and picked up my son, and we went out for breakfast. Sometimes when my boy, has a sleepover on a Friday night, I'll go pick him up Saturday morning, and we'll go to Greco Pizza, and we'll have some fucking garlic fingers, and that's what we did. But the coolest thing is, on our way to Greco, I bought a couple newspapers. And while we were waiting for the food and while we were eating, my boy and I were perusing these fucking papers and coming up with these fucking newspaper clippings and ripping them out as we went. And man, my boy, I'll tell you, he was a big fucking hit. Kenny was blown away with the newspaper clippings that my son picked out and how they were great for writing material and all this fucking stuff. My son's got the comedy eye, Anyway, it was fucking great, man. I got to have breakfast and pick out some news clippings with the boy, dropped him off at the house, and fucking flew into Yuks for this workshop. Just a great day, man, with Darren and Kenny, and of course, all my friends in comedy and my brother, Trevor Muxworthy. And so after the workshop got over like fucking 5:30, so I didn't get home till almost 6 o'clock. And of course, I planned on going back to Yuks for the show. I was hoping my boy was going to come out and see Darren and Kenny because, man, I've seen Darren before and he's a fucking killer, and I couldn't wait to see Kenny. My boy didn't want to go, so wifey and I just went on a date to Yuks. And, we're going to have a big talk about fucking Yuks here. Anybody locally or any comics really probably listening around the country have heard this news by now. But anyway, wifey and I on a little date out to Yuks taken in. So they had Dave Martin was the MC for the show. He was the host for Darren and Kenny. And Darren and Kenny were splitting time. I think they did 45 minutes each, something like that. And just Dave MC on the show. There was no guest spots, nothing like that. I'm not sure why exactly. But anyway, man, what a great show. I actually really enjoyed Dave Martin. You can kind of see that, I don't know, he sounded a lot like a radio personality. I'm sure he's done quite a bit of radio. I didn't talk to Dave very much, but Nice meeting him, real nice guy, and I dug his material, man. I thought he was fantastic. He's not a fucking killer, you know, but he's not supposed to be, not at least in that role. I mean, maybe if he is just doing a spot, you know, at 20 minutes, 25, whatever, maybe he does 45. I don't really know a lot about Dave, but I'm sure when he's doing a spot, he's he's probably a fucking killer. I enjoyed the hell of him, man. Thought he was a good host, and then Darren Frost came up. Holy shit, man. Now, I did this, I did a show with Darren Frost back in, I can't even remember the fucking year. I think it was 2015. We did a show at Callahan's with Darren Frost, me and Mux. And, man, he fucking blew me away then. And I'm going to tell you, man, that wasn't that long ago, maybe 3 years ago. He gets up on Saturday night, all new material. I hadn't heard a fucking joke he did. Not fucking one, man. Not one. Maybe his opening, just his opener. But, I mean, the improvement that he's made just in all fucking aspects, man. I'll tell you something. Darren Frost has some of the best stage presence I've ever seen in my fucking life. He is a creepy little fucker, man. And the way he was hanging over the audience and just slowly moving around, man, his stage presence, all his physical comedy, fucking dynamite, man. Darren knocked my dick in the fucking dirt. It was a tremendous masterclass of fucking comedy, man. Darren should be way more popular than he is, way more successful than he is. He fucking blew me away. Now, Kenny got up next, man, and I loved it. I love what Kenny did. He was kind of, the crowd was a little colder for Kenny than it was for Darren, which is kind of weird because Darren, he lit that room on fire. Maybe he sucked a lot of energy out of that fucking room. Maybe he took, all the last for himself. That happens sometimes. It's a dangerous show to do, right? If you're doing 45 minutes each, you're splitting the headline. That's a dangerous fucking thing to do, especially if you're coming out last, Now, I don't know if they split it, if on Friday, Darren went last. I heard that actually Kenny did better on Friday than Darren did, and here on Saturday, Darren did better than Kenny. I'm sure neither one of them are upset with that result. I loved Kenny, man. I thought he was fucking great. And for the most part, the crowd dug him. Man, right in the front row, far right of the front row, this couple comes in. They come in during Dave Martin's, warm-up set, and they sit down in their chairs, and these motherfuckers talk to each other the entire fucking show. I'm not kidding you. Yapping to each other through the whole, what the fuck did you come to a comedy show for if all you're going to do is talk to each other? Take it outside, Blondie. Jesus fucking Christ. Have a little respect. Even self-respect, at least. I mean, you paid for these fucking tickets. You don't even want to hear what the comics have to say? I just want to talk to you all night. Go and fuck in the bathroom, get it over with, come out and watch the goddamn show. Fucking people. Some other broad, mid-40s, maybe even fucking late 40s, while Darren was up there, and it was early on in the show. I mean, we're talking 8:45 p.m. She comes fucking running around the corner, runs right past, and I mean right in front of Austin Hill. And I think we talked about it a little bit on the podcast. Holding her mouth and barfing into her hand, down her fucking chest. Of course, all over the fucking floor. Absolutely disgusting. How embarrassing. How embarrassing. Aren't you embarrassed? Sebastian, I did love that special. Man, it was just, it was a fucking great night at Yuks Comedy Club. And unfortunately, maybe breaking news for some people, certainly very terrible fucking news for the St. John comedy scene. Yuks announced on Monday that they are closing the doors. So it turns out that Wifey and I were actually in attendance for Yuks St. John's final fucking show, man. It's goddamn depressing. It really is. The funny thing is, man, I back in 2016, I was very vocal how I didn't really want Yuks here, First of all, I didn't think our scene was ready for it, and I guess I was right. It doesn't feel good to be right. I'm not on here going, I fucking knew it, I told you, I fucking bought, this is not a happy day, a fucking celebration. And I've got so many messages from comics going, oh, I bet you fucking feel great about this, and oh, I can't wait to hear your podcast and all. Guys, I'm not fucking excited about this. I'm not excited about it at all. This turns this city into a black fucking hole of comedy. Just like what happened in Moncton when the Yuks pulled out of there. They both were open about 18 or 19 months, something around there. And, just now, 5 years later, just now, there's one fucking comedy venue up there, Hell's Basement in Moncton, that's making, it's a good place for fucking comedy. Before that, man, you couldn't, there's no point even going to Moncton for a fucking show. Don't give me this fucking hubcap comedy fucking festival shit either, okay? Moncton are horrible fucking comedy crowds, unless you're at Hell's Basement. Man, I've seen videos from the Hubcap Comedy Festival. My friends on stage, you can't even fucking hear the material. There's so goddamn many people talking in the bar. Okay, it's taken 5 years for someone to finally put together a good show, but it's just one venue. That's where we find ourselves here in St. John right now, man. Public perception is everything. If Yuks closed, that's the big franchise. That is fucking comedy in Canada, to average fucking Joe, right? And yeah, it's so now the public perception is that comedy is a failure here in St. John. And it's going to take a long time to dig out of this goddamn hole. Man, too early. It was too early for a fucking Yuks. It was too early for the High Tide Comedy Festival. It was too early for the other festival some other fucking meatball was trying to put on. It's too fucking early, guys. Nobody gives a fuck in this city about comedy. When you're in this scene, it seems like it's everything. And oh my God, this is happening and that's happening. Nothing's fucking happening. You ask the average person here in town, the only comedy they've heard of is Yuks. And it's a goddamn tragedy, I'll tell you that, because the one shining spot here, the one silver fucking lining is that we still have Chuckles Comedy Club, St. John's first comedy club, and now St. John's only fucking comedy club. Man, I'm not here to gloat and I'm not here to celebrate, okay? The way I look at it, I'm looking at a guy like Steve Barnes. Now, Steve and I have had our ups and downs. I like Steve, man. Steve's always been respectful to me. Even when we had our little spat in the beginning, he was super respectful. And now here you're talking about a guy that's lost, tens of thousands of fucking dollars. I dare say maybe close to 100,000. I don't really know his fucking finances. I got to imagine, he sunk a lot into that venue. It's not cheap to buy one of these fucking Yuks franchises, right? And already you don't make a lot of fucking money, even if you do sell out every fucking show. You're still not, you're not buying a fucking Bugatti, I feel fucking horrible for Steve Barnes. It really sucks that he, that he's lost all this fucking money and his dream has failed here in this city. I do not feel fucking good about it at all. I'm not on here to fucking gloat. Now, I will say one thing, okay? One thing I've been hearing, here and there from comics, in Toronto and in Halifax and, people not familiar, not at least really intimately familiar with this scene, having all kinds of things to say. Oh, it's all you local comics' fault, and oh, don't go on your fucking shows and talk shit and whatever. Listen, guys, fuck all about what you're talking about, okay? You know nothing about what's gone on here in this area. You've heard this and you've heard that. It's easy to say that the local comics all should have fucking supported Yuks. It's easy to fucking say that, okay? But when those doors were fucking closed to us, when everybody there was super unfriendly to a lot of the local comics here, and I'm talking about me and Arif and Shane Ogden, who fucking, who came up in that system, for Christ's sakes. The door was not open for guys like us because, when Steve opened this thing, he was aligned with guys like Mullinger and especially guys like Mark Burnett. And that's when the big beasts were fucking feuding and Burnett was in his ear and Steve was listening to him. Why the fuck wouldn't you? Right? You got Mullinger on your side. You got this other promoter. Everyone's trying to help you. They're telling you who the fucking assholes are and you're believing them, There's a lot that goes into it, man. I mean, it's a place that, none of us, a lot of us fringe comics down here, we did not feel at home. That didn't feel like our home fucking club, man. Because look, here's the thing. When Steve opened this thing, he did a soft open, right? Where he had like a dozen fucking comics come out and perform on the stage for the very first fucking time, this soft opening, right? I didn't get a fucking call. None of my friends got a fuceven call. Instead, on the stage that night were people like Mandy Lynn Donovan, Mark Burnett himself. These guys shouldn't even be fucking, they don't even have a fucking strong 10 minutes for a fucking open mic, let alone, you know what I mean? And now here, and I'm just saying, man, like 3 months before that club opened, I headlined Chuckles fucking Comedy Club, right? could you maybe give me a call for the fucking soft opening? Maybe a little invite. Hey, Mark, you want to come do 5 minutes at the fucking club? It would have gone a long way. And, that club would have got a lot of fucking support from me. It was weird in the fucking early days. And you comics from out of town, you don't really understand the politics of it. I don't disagree with you that the local comics should have, really should have supported the club. I don't disagree with that statement. But you don't know the whole fucking story, right? There's a lot more that goes on behind the fucking scenes. And I get it, man. And listen, for anybody who's listening to this that was expecting me to be, I fucking told you so, and how great is this, and oh, I was right, and fucking right, and it's none of that, man. Not from me. Not from me at all. To be honest, I'm walking away from a couple of the open mics here. I'm walking away from the R Bar. I'm not doing O'Leary's. I'm not interested in doing those fucking shows anymore. I got my own fucking reasons. If you want to know what those reasons are, well, you're not going to fucking find out. All right. But I was really looking forward to, getting into Yuks, man. And I've gone and seen a lot of fucking shows there, right? Probably not as many as I should have. I didn't go to that club as often as possible. And I never once reached out for a spot, That's on me. Not getting booked at Yuks ever was on me. I knew what I had to fucking do. I just didn't do it. Here's the thing. And it's not even out of a fucking grudge or anything like that. I just don't give a fuck about my comedy career. I'm not pushing forward and trying to get to the top, man. Because there ain't no fucking top, by the way. All right? There ain't no top. The funny thing is, we had a professional comedy club in town. You'd think, hey, if you want to be a comic who makes money, you want to get in there. Dude, I performed there 3 times, never made a fucking dime. Okay, but December 1st, I'm going to make a whole bunch of money. November 17th, I'm going to make a whole bunch of money. That's the cool thing about New Brunswick is it is kind of the Wild West, and Darren spoke about this quite a bit. It's the Wild West down here. You can make some fucking money. If you can convince people to buy tickets and give them a good time, man, you can make some fucking money down here. I didn't need Yuks, I guess is the thing. But the sad thing is right near the end, I was just getting ready to, open my arms to Yuks and start going there more often and start trying to get guest spots. I spoke about this before, man, but when Yuks first opened here, I was a fucking egomaniac idiot, okay? Now, I did just headline the other fucking comedy club in town. Okay, that's kind of a fucking big deal, right? But what I didn't realize in my head is to Yuks, that doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't matter if you're consistent and killing at all the fucking shows. They don't give a shit. They have a system, man. You got to sign up for guest spots. You got to get on amateur night. You got to prove yourself, man. And then you work your way up in that fucking system. I just never, back when it really fucking mattered, I didn't understand that. I thought I was above it. Stupid me, right? Missed opportunities. Yeah, I don't know, man. And by the time I had it fucking figured out and was going along with the fucking program, it's too late, man. It's a big miss. It's a big loss for our fucking scene. Yeah, I don't even really know what else to fucking say about it. I feel horrible for Steve, And the funny thing is, I heard someone say, oh, well, I hope Steve, after he posts about his club closing, I hope he, talks about, fucking go see comedy here and go see comedy there to all the people that, go to his club. Man, listen, that's a totally different fucking audience. Okay? There's not going to be not a lot of crossover from Yuks to Chuckles. Probably no crossover from Yuks to No Jokes Barred or McGill's and shows like that. Man, it was a very specific crowd, people that go out to a place like Yuks. They're not willing to go to the R Bar and watch comedy. You never catch them fucking dead in a place like that. Anyway, I feel horrible for fucking Steve. I really do. I don't feel horrible for fucking him because I didn't fuck him. And if I did, I probably wouldn't feel bad about it anyway. But I do feel horrible for him for losing the club. It sucks, man. It really does. I feel bad for him. I'm glad I got out to see the last show. Most of the time when I went there, I've been there on a couple stinker nights, but you're going to get that, right? People have off nights. Not everybody's a strong fucking headliner. I've been to a couple bad shows there, but most of the shows that I went to were highly entertaining. Big loss for our city, man. And not because it's St. Awesome and live life uptown and that's all gone. Like, not because of that, man. It's just, for me, it's a personal thing to see. Listen, man, I've failed in fucking business before. right? I had this fucking fight apparel store in Peterborough, Tough Stuff Fight Depot. And I sunk a lot of effort and time and fucking money into that and had to walk away with a big fucking loss. I know what it feels like, man, when you have to walk away from your dream because it just wasn't successful enough. You just can't pay the fucking bills with your dream, you know? And I really feel bad as a fellow failed businessman. I feel bad for Steve. I really do. Steve, if you're listening, man, and you want to chat about it, or hey, man, if you ever want to come on this fucking show, reach out, man. I'd love to talk to you. It's a shitty thing, man. I do feel bad. Again, like I said, right, I got to qualify all this by saying, you know, it was fucking weird in the beginning. But you can't blame Steve for that, right? I mean, here's a guy, he doesn't know anything about the scene, right? He just knows he wants to open up a Yuks, and Mullinger and Burnett are all fucking over him. I mean, that was really the only fucking advice he had to follow, right? I don't know. What I hope, man, is that people are kind of paying attention and realize that this is a fucking marathon, okay? It's not a goddamn sprint. We're not ready for a fucking festival here, okay? We're not ready for that kind of fucking bullshit. We just got to keep our fucking heads down, grind it out, and grow this goddamn scene. This scene is fucking 5 years old, guys. 5 years old. And actually, when you look 5 years back, there was hardly anybody doing it, and there was hardly any fucking shows going on. Only Shane's. That's it. Few one-offs here and there. 5 years. We've come a long way, right? We've pushed real hard, and we've come a long way. This sets us back a little bit. It really does. But stop fucking wanting to. Why is, like, the society now, the way it's fucking built, and it's probably because of the internet and everything, everybody just wants everything in life right fucking now. We want it so immediately. And no one gives a shit about paying fucking dues and gaining experience. And, like, man, this is the way life is set up, man. It takes fucking time to get shit. Everyone wants everything right now, right now. I want my Netflix special. I want this. I want... Fucking calm the fuck down. Work on your craft. Right? Do as many shows as you can. And don't worry about the fucking scene and the fest and the fucking... Who gives a shit? Anyway, my condolences. I'm going to tip back a Dos Equis right here for the loss of St. John Yuks. Yeah, it's a sad day. I think it was right around this time last year, or maybe it was longer than that, that St. John's, Newfoundland, they lost their Yuks too. It closed out there too. I mean, it's you look specifically at St. John, man, like the population's under 70,000. And this area is fucking riddled with poverty. Right? It always fucking has been. To expect to sell, fucking 150, like 450 tickets a fucking week for comedy, man, it's asking a lot. It's asking a lot of fucking people. There's not a lot of disposable income down here. And unfortunately, the city just could not support this comedy club. It sucks. It's one less stage. I love that fucking stage, man. I loved it. Politics aside, all the fucking bullshit aside, the 3 times that I performed there, especially my first 2, I had such a great fucking time on that stage, in that room, with those people. It's going to be sadly fucking missed by me. However, onward and fucking upward. Okay, so here's the thing, man. Like I mentioned the comics from out of town saying, you guys should have supported the club and everything, man. That's not the way it's fucking done down here. Like look at Chuckles Comedy Club, man. You go, that's once a month, right? There's 2 shows a month there. You think any fucking comics from this area show up and fucking support those shows? Very few. Very, very fucking few. The last time I went there, it was 3. That was it. The whole fucking weekend. There were 3 comics who came out and watched those shows. So listen, guys, if you're so upset about losing this fucking venue, okay, maybe you guys should be supporting the fucking club that you should have been supporting all a fucking long. Shane Ogden, Julie Tower, and Chuckles fucking Comedy Club. All right? Let's get behind this fucking club, man. Maybe we can build that into something that's weekly. You know? I don't know. Me personally, I've always supported Chuckles Comedy Club, man. Shane knows what he's fucking doing. He knows this area. You know, that's the thing. Shane's been doing comedy here, putting on comedy shows with headliners and once a month for 10 fucking years here. He knows that this area can't support more than, you know, once a month kind of deal for a ticketed show like that. And that's how he's been able to fucking survive. Now, he's lost money on a lot of fucking shows. He makes some money. He loses some money. I mean, 10 years, it's going to be a fucking roller coaster. Guys, get out and support this fucking club. All right? And here's one other thing I'm going to say. Okay? If we want to build this scene, we got to stop fucking around. You got to stop charging people money for horrible fucking comedy shows. Okay? You got to stop it. Listen, open mic, pay what you can, whatever. Toonie at the door. I don't give a shit about that. You can't charge, you know, $10 or $7 or $10 for horrible fucking comedy, or for not, I'm not saying horrible fucking comedy, okay? Listen, the truth is there's not that many fucking killers around here who can close out or even fucking support a ticketed show. It's not a huge number of fucking people. You know, it's going to drive an audience away. You're charging someone $10 for a fucking comedy show, man. $10 is a lot of fucking money to put up for a night of entertainment, for an hour and a half of fucking entertainment. If your headliner is someone who's going to, you know, who's going to suck, everybody that bought a ticket to that show, they're never going to fucking trust you again. They're never going to trust comedy in this fucking area again. Okay? Please think about that moving forward. Man, and, you know, it's not just the core group of local comics here either. It's like these fucking fly-by-night people like Mandy Lynn. You know, Mandy Lynn put on a show and fucking headlined herself. I'm sorry. I like Mandy. She's a nice person, okay? She shouldn't be charging a fucking nickel for any joke she's telling up there. Not ever. Not fucking ever. And it's that kind of shit that's diluting our fucking scene, and it's turning the people of St. John against the fucking comedy here. Keep that in mind moving forward. Jesus, am I fucking scolding you all. And another goddamn thing. Yeah, man, depressing. You know, it really was depressing because, it was strange timing because I spent almost my entire fucking day, Saturday and Saturday night, at that fucking club. And, you know, I had a small interaction with Steve. I was trying to get tickets for the wife and the boy. And he just seemed off, man. He seemed really off. The writing was kind of on the wall. I'm sure he knew it by that time. It sucks, man. It sucks. It's a fucking heartbreaker. You know, and what really sucks is, here's the thing, man. I had Darren and Kenny came in town without a Yuks club. I'm not going to see those fucking guys, right? Those guys never come out to my house for a podcast. I don't fucking hang out with them, do a workshop with them, hang out with them. None of that fucking shit happens without that Yuks club. It's not going to happen moving forward. Now all I can do is maybe once a month, I can hang out with a fucking headliner and maybe learn something from a headliner at Chuckles Comedy Club. You know, that's all we fucking got now. But it's just so weird that, you know, I had these experiences with Darren and Kenny, and it's the last experiences at fucking Yuks, man. It was, it was too bad. Man, it was so, you know, here's something that's really fucking cool. There's a show called Mr. D here in this country. If you're in this country, you know what it is, man. There's a lot of fucking comics on the show. You know, it's a pretty, you know, it's a big show around here. I think it's over 8 fucking seasons. Anyway, Netflix has the first 7 seasons on there. I did this with Bob's Burgers too. I kind of looked at the premise of the show. With Bob's Burgers, it's like, okay, it's a guy, he's got a burger shop and he's got a bunch of fucking stupid kids. I'm not interested. I did the same thing with Mr. D. He's a fucking teacher. It's Atlantic Canadian comedy. Not interested. Boy, was I fucking wrong. First of all, about Bob's Burgers, but I've talked about that before. Netflix just put on Mr. D here, first 7 seasons. And I said, fuck it, you know what? I'm going to try it out. It was actually Darren Frost. I learned that Darren Frost was on the show, and I said, well, fuck it, man. If Darren's on it, I'm going to fucking check this show out. And I did. And holy moly, I'm telling you, I'm already done the 2nd season. I'm heading into season 3. What a dynamite show. If you guys have not checked out Mr. D with Jerry D, fucking brilliant. Jerry D. Mark Little is so good in it. Jonathan Torrens is not in the beginning. And in the beginning, Jonathan Torrens, he's the vice principal at this school. And I wasn't really in love with his character. And then he turned a fucking corner, man, somewhere around episode 4 or 5. Really got into the fucking character, grabbed my attention. What a great role, man. Certainly a better role than J-Rock, and that was a fucking great role, too. Man, I am loving this show. Now, here's the coolest fucking thing, right? Last night, I'm sitting down watching it, and now I've seen Darren Frost in just very small appearances so far on the show. So the episode I watched last night, Darren was in it throughout the fucking episode. Not only was Darren in this fucking... So, and I just did a workshop with him, had him on my podcast, hung out with him a little bit, watched this fucking comedy Saturday night. And now I'm watching him on my fucking TV, on Netflix. Here's the coolest fucking thing. In this particular episode, a little later on in the episode, Kenny fucking Robinson is in the episode. He's a fucking principal at some rival school. Man, it was kind of fucking surreal, the timing of it and all that shit. Really fucking cool, man. Can't say enough good things about Darren Frost and Kenny Robinson. Love those guys. So fortunate that we got, that we experienced that weekend before the club shut down. And again, my condolences to Steve Barnes. It's fucking horrible news. Yeah, so anyway, moving on. Quick breaking news, just really quick here. You guys probably, if you listen episodically, you know that I have been training an MMA fighter, training and coaching and cornering. Nick, the Big Boom Coombs, he's 3-1. He's a heavyweight fighter. He's ranked number 1 in the Maritimes. He's ranked number 3 in this fucking country. And we just signed up for a fight January 26th at the casino in Moncton. Training is not going to start for likely another 2 or 3 weeks. I'm gonna have Nick get into the gym, start getting into fight camp shape at least ahead of it. But I am busy. Okay, I'm too fucking busy right now, and what I'm busy with, folks, is the deer hunt. Ugh, fuck! So excited, man! I wait all year for these 3 weeks. So of course I took Monday off work, the opening of deer season, like I do every single year. Last year, first time in 6 years that I did not get a fucking deer, and it's because I didn't have my son out in the blind on the first day. Well, this year I did. Hauled him out of high school, throw him on the back of the bike, get out to the blind. He spends 9 hours out there with me, man. Just a great fucking day. We didn't see any deer, man. I was really hoping. Here's the thing. I have never shot a deer on opening day, but I have been out there for every single fucking one of them. It's just, and I really hope that this was the year that I can shoot a deer while my son's with me. It would just be a great fucking father-son experience. And didn't happen again, man. What do you do? So I went out for opening day, Monday, Tuesday, and today. I worked all day. However, today, right after work, I already had the trailer hooked up to the truck. I stopped at my blind. When I got off work, I got out there about 5:30. I had to take my chemical toilet out there too. But at least I got to sit in the blind for an hour and a half of fucking prime time at the end of the day. I mean, that's usually when the deer come in, right? So if you can get out there in enough time and, quiet down for a little bit, it may have happened for me tonight. Of course it didn't, but I've taken tomorrow off. I'm going to hunt all fucking day tomorrow. Then I'm going to work Friday. I've got the weekend to hunt. Pretty fucking busy other than that too on the weekend, but I'll be hunting both fucking days. I'm working all next week. No days off, no time to fucking hunt. It's going to be tough. The whole second week of the hunt is going to go by without me participating. But come Friday at 5 o'clock next week, I'm off for 9 days. We're going to get some fucking meat in the freezer. I'm super excited about it. I am super excited to present to you episode 112 of the SPLUDECAST with Austin Hill and Jon, Jon, Jon Nesbitt. Hey, you know what to do. Drive her into you.
hear it? Oh, can you? You're hearing it vicariously?
Yeah, we can hear you too, John.
I'm having illusions, all this confusion driving me mad inside. I'm having illusions, all this confusion fucking me up in my mind. I'm having illusions, all this confusion driving me mad inside. I'm having illusions, all this confusion fucking me up in my mind. Motherfuckers be driving me up the walls.
You motherfuckers have been driving me up the wall. What's going on, boys?
Oh, nothing much, Mark.
We got Austin Hill here. We got Jon Nesbitt here. We have the full crew from the Plastic Frog. Is it the Plastic Frog podcast or just Plastic Frog?
Just plastic.
Plastic
Not
frog.
the
No,
Plastic
the needed.
So what is it? Where's this name come from for this podcast? Plastic Frog.
Are we allowed to tell them?
I don't think we are.
Oh, you're not allowed to tell me.
No.
We can tell you off air.
Oh, is
Yeah.
that what happened? Oh,
Yeah.
is that what it is?
It's the greatest secret. The original name comes from.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, I am fucking intrigued.
If you,
Let's just shut this fucking thing off and talk about it.
if you stalk enough people online, you can find out the answer.
Is that right?
Yes.
If you stalk enough people.
The roots are out there.
The correct
Now,
people.
if I'm, if I were to hazard a guess here, I'd have to say that out of you two, that stalking was probably done by Jon Nesbitt. It's, I don't know. You don't really look like a stalker, Austin.
No, I
Although, you're almost always smiling. That's a little untrustworthy. A little untrustworthy. All right, so it's a secret. I'm going to tell you guys. So I got a little secret of my own for my podcast. I got this little guy up here. Right? He's my little buddy. He sits up on my microphone. He's got a name. And maybe I'll tell you guys what his name is off air.
Nice.
How about that? Yeah. Hey, we all got fucking secrets, boys, all right?
Been
Be
some
fucking
secrets.
holding secrets over I got my own fucking secret here on my podcast, all right? Be fucking around here. I think we're coming in way too fucking hot, or at least, I'm probably coming in way
If
too
you
I was gonna
wanna
say,
re-record the intro there where I blasted my stupid voice all over it. We could do that too.
Yeah, you fucked that right up,
Oh
John.
yeah.
Jesus
I'm a
Christ.
fucking master at it.
Big fucking
You had a
surprise.
comment on my dancing, didn't you?
Wow, it was tripping me.
Is that what was happening? You were commenting on his...
Yeah, I was like bumping my head a little bit to the intro music, and John had
I
to
was
ask
like,
me about
where
it. He's
is
like, you
he-
can't even hear it. You don't
Why
get to
is he
dance.
enjoying him so much? He has no headphones on. I just thought you were totally insane, and
I never knew where the song came from, and I finally figured out where, like...
It just pipes in through the walls.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
Yeah.
I never knew what it was called, so now that I know, I can listen to it casually and imagine every day's SPLUDECAST day.
All right, so did you go to the R Bar last night too? No, you were there till the end of the show.
I watched
at
the
Yuks,
full
right?
Yuks show, and then I
Yeah.
went to the R Bar to watch the end of it.
Oh,
as
then
well.
you did. Okay. Talk to me about the R Bar here, boys.
Oh.
What happened? What happened?
Well, he missed most of the show.
Yeah, I only
you
saw the
caught
final two
end.
people, and it was pretty empty there by
Yeah.
the time I got there.
Oh, really?
Like,
There wasn't a lot of people, and the people that were there was like a group of like 5 stoners or whatever. I don't know.
They were having a hell of a time, though.
Yeah, but
They
they
enjoyed
were
themselves.
they were laughing at weird times. I think they were probably all on some kind of hallucinogenic drugs. Or
Oh,
something.
is that
Yeah.
right?
They were
Oh,
enjoying
Jesus.
what
Yeah.
they're allowed to enjoy legally
You could
now.
get one of them to laugh randomly once, and then they would shut her down.
So how many people were there, first of all?
Probably them, and then there was a couple people that said that they came to see John Scove and Shand,
Right.
specifically. So, and then they happened to be the first 2 people on the bill. So then they bolted. Like,
Oh, no
well,
shit.
they stayed for most of it. Those 2 people, and then they just got tired. I think.
Yeah, by the time I got there,
Yeah.
probably about 10 comedians, including myself, and then there was 5 people
Yeah.
who probably looked like they were supposed to be there for the comedy show, and then
Right.
one person at the bar who's kind of looking at it halfly.
That was
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, and then
Oh,
a couple people
Jesus.
walked out
It was-
before the finish even
It
happened.
was a light night.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and no one was giving it up. Like I did all new stuff. I mean, I did a couple of for that venue. I did 2 jokes that I told in Ottawa,
Right.
that were received well at the over in front of a good crowd. So I figured those were good, right? And then I had all new stuff that I didn't. Work out the words. I was going real loose on the concepts.
Sure.
But I was trying to, find some in the moment magic with that.
Yeah, right.
And I thought it was good material. And I got I got John Scove to laugh pretty hard at one time, and I even thanked him for it because it was like, no one's giving it up. Someone you need to be thanked, man. If
yeah, that's how you know it's a bad night when you're thanking the one person who's laughing. Thank you, Jesus
by
Christ.
name. Yeah, John. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
I recorded.
Did
it.
anybody kill? Who was all on the show? First of all, so John Scove Nielsen was on the show, obviously.
Yeah.
Shand was on the show.
Yeah. David Hall.
David Hall was on the show.
So
Jon
that's the
Nesbitt.
order, and then me, and then Break, and then obviously John Forward doing his standard, off the top, and then coming back in after Break.
Sure.
And then we had Marty D was on the show.
What are you talking, like 25 minutes from?
Yeah, he did. He was telling some stories.
He gets greedy.
Yeah.
Marty D was there. Okay.
Marty D
was there.
Marty D was there.
Yeah.
He was second last.
Jesus Christ! Like, how disappointing for Marty D to
He looked
drive
very
down.
disappointed.
He drive down from Moncton. The Arbor ain't what she fucking used to be, boys.
He said, he
she
commented
just ain't
that.
what she used to be. Is that what he said?
He said it on stage. He was like, I don't even know why I come down here.
Yeah.
I was hoping
That's when he started his set.
Yeah.
And
I
it was
think-
like he lost whoever was in the room right then.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it
Yeah.
was
I was
tough.
hoping he was going to give it, though, because of all the comedians that were there. I see all of them regularly, except for Marty.
Right.
So I was
Yeah.
hoping he was going to give me all material I haven't seen before. And
Yeah.
he's gonna have, like a good show, because I could was like laughing.
Yeah. He was pretty
rare in the scene to see someone you don't know their
He was
style.
pretty deflated
Yeah.
by,
He did it
by
like
the
a
lack
half
of energy in
deflated
the crowd.
show.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that sucks.
Eric Chasaw was there.
Oh, okay.
And I always
well, at
loved,
least they traveled together, so it
Yeah.
wasn't fucking
Hopefully.
too
I always
bad.
loved
yeah.
Eric Chasaw, and no one was giving it up for him.
Yeah.
And no one gave it up for anybody. And then RF came on, and he roasted everybody. But then me and RF had a bit of a spat.
You and Arf did?
Yeah,
Oh,
but we
dish.
worked it out.
Dish. That's
But
whoa, what do you
well,
mean?
normally RF, I always look forward to hearing a blast from RF. Right? It's clever. Usually got something interesting,
Yeah,
and
it's a
it's
good time.
entertaining, and it laughs.
Sure.
All he said about me was, "You fucking bombed so hard," with his RF accent. You fucking bombed.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
And anyway, so that was that, and then of course everyone was bombing, right? So this was my point of view. I went up to him after, and just as a joke, like, I'm up to him, and I'm like, "You call me out for bombing, and then you proceed to bomb." Right? And then he was like, "What, you want to fight me?" Like, he was pissed that I told him that, right? He was, "You want to go
Jesus
outside?"
Christ. Oh.
Basically, are you looking to fight me? And I was like, "No."
Yeah. I
No,
just
I was
didn't
just
really
telling
care
you
for
that I was like, normally if you roast me, it's at least entertaining.
Yeah,
and
it's funny.
You don't just
Yeah.
you don't just punch me in the bag and then
I think Arf
But,
is losing it, boys. I think he's.
He
he's
was roasting
almost...
me for a couple minutes, thinking I was Shand.
Yeah.
So Shan left.
Yeah.
So
Shan
Shan
wasn't
leaves.
in the room.
I take Shan's seat,
Yeah.
and he's
Right.
like roasting in that direction of the room.
Yes. Shan
wasn't
So
in
he's
the
just
room.
roasting Shan to my, like, look at me in the eye.
Yes.
The
I don't know. I
woman-
didn't correct him. I didn't want
The
to
only
throw
woman
him
left
off.
in the room was Steph. Steph Savage was
Right.
there.
Yeah.
And then I had to point out during his set, I'm like, that's not Shan you're talking to. That's Steph.
Right.
And he was like, "What?" I was like, "I'm not the only one that's delusional here, Art." So that was like, I had to heckle him. But
That's crazy. I've been saying it for a little while, man. Arbar and O'Leary's. I think it's time for some fresh places. People don't seem to be going out to either one of those venues. Certainly not at the Arbar, not like they used to. Like the Arbar used to be really the hottest fucking comedy show in town. Not anymore.
it's sad.
Yeah. I don't know. I did hear, though, last month they had a pretty good turnout. So maybe it's fucking.
There was
hit
way
and miss,
more last month, but then there was there was this fucking guy named Duncan that interrupted the show for. I've never seen a heckler with that much stamina. He heckled,
Got a lot of material, did he?
He was an idiot and insane.
Right.
He heckled for 30 solid minutes. Okay. And then he went over, and then he was stuck his face between the VLT machines.
Right.
Started heckling with his face coming out through there.
Nice.
When Godso was on. He's like, "Now you're over there." and Godso literally, Troy Haynes, he heckled through Mandy Donovan came up, and he heckled the shit out of her.
You can't really blame
anyway,
him, I mean.
and then Troy Haynes
to
came
wrangle
up.
him.
Troy Haynes was enjoying it. He was like,
Yeah.
Troy Haynes made him repeat
Haynes is a
himself
sick
30
motherfucker.
times. He kept saying, "What? What?" And it made the guy repeated himself 30 times. Troy Haynes said it each
was a hell
time,
of a
and the guy
nice.
repeated what he said 30. The guy didn't clue in.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And
yeah.
then
Good for Troy,
Oh
man.
yeah,
That's
that
a good
was,
way
that
to
was
fucking
amazing.
handle a heckler,
That
yeah.
was classic. And then the final straw that to shut him down, he came right up in front of Godso. Godso literally, I've never seen this. Literally chased him with the mic stand, shoot at him, go
Like a lion tamer.
Scourge of
Just backing
Satan,
him up,
you know,
yeah.
like he like pitchforked at
Yes.
him, right?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
tried to like pitchfork him like out of there. And then I heard the girl behind the bar giving him shit. Finally,
Yeah.
after all that, and said, you might have to leave. Like what a pleasant town we live in, right?
Yeah, you
Where
might have to
there's
leave.
this possibility if you
Consider
keep this
kicking you
up,
out.
you might have to go.
I think there's a Mullinger bit about
Yeah.
that. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Duncan was a fan. He came 2 months in a row. He didn't come to this last show.
You know what
we lost a fan.
You know what? You know what?
As
made
terrible as he is.
You know what tickled my heart? I was catching the bus to work one morning, and Duncan was running for it, and the bus driver was like, "Fuck, I'm not letting that scuzzbag on." And the bus driver clearly saw him, and it just kept going. And then Duncan was all like,
The
doing
bus
this.
driver knows Duncan
Yeah,
too.
yeah, he was like, "Fuck that."
He's been
Yeah.
heckling the bus
Yeah.
driver too.
So then-
hey, nice stop, asshole. Oh, you fucking missed that one. You know? Yeah. I like it. John, what do you mean you tried this stuff in Ottawa? When the fuck were you in Ottawa? What's this all about?
Oh, I did a show in Ottawa in September the 5th last month.
Right.
Took a little. I had vacation
Whereabouts in
time.
Ottawa?
Yeah,
Whereabouts? Like, fucking talk to me. What are you
the
just?
Yuks.
Oh, yeah, just. Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Amateur show.
Yeah, it was,
Guest
they call
spot?
it the New Talent Showcase, and
New
they had
Talent
it chocked
Showcase.
full of people. There was like 14.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, that's pretty typical.
It was some show. It was tedious, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know why, but I was 13th out of 14, and I had Ottawa
Jesus.
friends because I'd lived there before.
Right, right.
So I brought a bunch of people out, and I'm like, okay, well, enjoy yourselves. I'll see you in a couple hours.
Yeah.
You know. So
What do you mean you lived there? How long did you live there for?
like 18
Oh,
years.
Jesus. Look at
18
this.
years.
Look at this fucking nightmare going on
time
here
in Ottawa.
across from me. Jesus Christ, John. Okay, you got her in now?
Sometimes I have trouble sticking it in.
So if you can't hear both, pull it out just a little bit.
I got it.
Oh, well, fuck. First of all, you got Jesus
Yeah.
Christ
I'm
almighty.
I'm flying in.
You
on
know,
a-
Austin, I think we should give you the fucking headphones.
I can handle them.
Yeah, I think you could handle them a
They're
lot better
working
than
a hell of a
what's-
lot better now that happened. Like I only
Right.
had 1 year.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
All right. Well, there you go.
There you go.
You lived there for 18 years in Ottawa.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's just listen. Officially, all right?
Yeah.
How fucking old are you?
Uh,
No,
birth certificate.
How old
stuff?
are you? Yeah, birth certificate stuff. Like
I'm-
Snopes.
I'm
How
immortal.
fucking old are you on Snopes?
I'm immortal, sir.
Okay, listen. All right. You're a fucking Wabanaki.
That's the Anunnaki, sir.
Oh, that's what it is.
Don't
Oh,
get it
wait.
twisted. Don't
No,
get it twisted.
Here's how I got it twisted, though. Okay. I got it twisted because my government has been selling me this fucking marijuana called Wabanaki. And
There you go.
it's
Look
been
at that.
fucking with me.
That looks like
you
some
know?
kind of facial cream in that little jar.
Doesn't
there.
it though?
It looks professional.
Have you guys not been into these government fucking
I
weed
haven't
stores?
yet,
I
no.
don't.
You have not?
I don't partake.
Have
too
a look
often.
and pass it around. That's the kind of packaging you can expect to see there.
And they come in fancy boxes too, don't they? With,
They do
the
indeed.
Label,
I saw
yeah.
that.
And they got the government tax
So
stamp.
Dan
Yeah,
Terrio
that's
had
right.
a box there yesterday that I.
There's
took a
another
look
one.
at.
There's a different style of container there. That's kind of interesting.
That's like the.
So that's from Tweed, Canopy. That stuff there that you're holding, Austin, is that's from Organogram. That's all comes out of Moncton. That stuff there.
Supporting local.
Yep, supporting local. Yeah, I love it that the government buys all their weed from a company in Moncton that's already been shut down multiple times for pesticides.
Is it really?
Oh yeah.
No,
oh yeah.
no. Serve it to New Brunswick for years and years to come if it has pesticides. in
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. That's just the way our province runs,
Once a
right?
few
Enjoy
people-
the refinery and your pesticides.
Once a few people die, we'll look into it.
Well, listen, I mean, we got the fucking chemtrails, we got the fluoride in the water, we got the refinery, we got the fucking pesticide weed. we got it all, right?
Everyone's
I mean,
got it all, man. That's the cube of Saturn, right? That's the.
Yes, it is. It's actually just
Saturn
turns out to be the
matrix.
cube of sadness because it's, fifth or what is this shit? 13.3%. That's pretty sad.
That's low.
That's pretty
Yeah,
sad.
how
Like,
does that scale? What's the solution?
so, but here's the funny thing. All the years I've been going to, the illegal dispensaries, most of the selection there is over 20%. As high as 27.4, which is pretty fucking strong. Now, having said that, so I was very skeptical when I was buying shit like this. It works fucking great. It actually gets you extremely high. It just doesn't last quite as long. So I guess that's the fucking difference. I don't know. I was very skeptical. That's the lowest one I bought at 13. And this Wabanaki is 17. Fucking blew my mind first time. Just didn't last quite as long. But that's not a bad thing either. You know what I mean?
I like the name Wabanaki.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, exactly.
It's almost like a rubber ducky. Yeah.
So how old are you? Okay, this was a great little,
Yeah. Well, I mean, in Earth years.
Right, Earth years.
Yes.
We are on Earth,
Yeah.
John.
Twice my
Well,
age.
Austin and I are at least.
This is
Yes.
a realm. We're not even. You may think you're on a planet, but you're in a realm.
Now call it right here. Flat planet, pear shape, apple. What are we talking about here? Globe.
I think it's all an illusion.
You think it's all an illusion?
Yeah.
All right.
It's called the illusion of Maya. That's something that's actually out there. The Mayans coined the phrase. So basically,
Coined what phrase?
the illusion of Maya. You can look that up.
The illusion of Maya.
Google it.
I am gonna have to
Yeah.
Google that shit.
Yeah, the illusion of Maya. This is a shamanic principle. So everything is an illusion.
So the Mayans
All
thought
the
they were like a
physical-
simulation kind of fucking deal, or what's
You could call it that.
M. Night Shyamalan?
I mean, it's all just terms and language at that point, right?
Right,
So
I
whatever
guess.
way you want to view it,
Sure,
you put
but
your,
that's what it comes down. That's their basic, the basic
so
philosophy.
they knew at that point the kind of nature of reality, right? Where it's what's actually going on. Like they had a lot more knowledge back then, and so it's all about sifting through and finding those nuggets.
Right. Yeah.
within the things.
Do you do a lot of sifting for nuggets?
Oh
Is
yeah,
that
I'm a nugget sifter. I have
Fucking
a
nugget
nugget
sifter.
filter right
He's
right near my toilet. Yeah.
He's a bird sniffer and a fucking nugget sifter. I like it. I've talked to you, I think, plenty. Austin, how are you today, my friend?
Oh, not too bad. Not too bad at all.
I want to talk to you quite a bit. I want to find out your comedy genesis story and stuff. But I think we should start here at this smile. Are you a fucking psychopath or are you just a happy guy, dude? Because you're always smiling. Always smiling. You have a beautiful smile. And you're very friendly to look at. What's the story behind this smile here?
I think I went through a lot of pain to get this smile. You had like the whole braces thing and retainers like 3 times.
Oh, that kind of... Okay,
so once
all
you
right.
put in the work, once you
Sure.
get the final result.
You
like,
wanna
once-
show that baby
once
off.
you have abs, you don't hide your abs.
Okay, this...
So once you have the smile,
right.
you show the smile.
Well, shit, that was a fucking better answer than I expected. But plus, you're a psychopath, kind of.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, okay, all right.
Get away
That's-
with murder.
That's what I... That was terrifying for
In the
like
courtron, just
half a
smiling
second.
away.
Yeah, exactly.
This guy's
Like a
willing to do a
lunatic.
podcast with me. It's
Yeah,
proof positive
exactly.
right there.
I do want to come back to that. But Austin, what? How long have you been doing comedy around here, and what the fuck got you doing this stuff?
I've been in the scene for 11 months. So
Pull that mic up just a little
a little bit closer, a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah,
There we
there
go. A
you
little
go.
bit better level.
There you go, that's perfect.
Excellent. So 11 months. So November we might year into it at the R Bar, going back to the R Bar for like a year show.
Yes. Are you going to be on that show?
I'm gonna be on that
that's
show. I made
terrific.
sure I was on
Yeah.
that show.
Oh, that's great, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I got into it by watching a few of like No Jokes Barred,
Just came out to the
just
show
casually. Like somehow I
Yeah.
ended up with some friends,
Right.
and it just seemed achievable.
Oh, and you just happened.
yeah, someone else brought
and it
me,
seemed achievable.
and I was like, I could probably do this.
That speaks volumes about the local scene, by the way. Just
He's confident.
that is definitely achievable.
Yeah, I can definitely get up there and
Yeah.
do it, and you need a creative outlet sometimes.
Yeah,
and
yeah. So how long did it take you to build up the nerve to do it?
I think saw my first deluxe, and within I think it took 4 months for me to actually get up on stage. And
Right.
I was more nervous to like ask someone to go up on stage and actually get up on it and perform in front of people.
Yeah, right. You
didn't
were
wanna-
you were more anxious about asking for the
Yeah, I
spot.
didn't want, like
yeah.
to bug someone and be like, "Excuse me, I think I might be funny.
Yeah.
let me
How
on."
dare you
Yeah,
ask
like-
me for a spot? Who do you think you are?
Get out of here, kid. What's
Yeah.
you need an education before you can do this or something. I don't
Yeah.
know what barrier I thought was there.
Humber College. Here I come.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Who did you see? Do you remember anybody that was on the lineup that when you went to that O'Leary show?
It was deluxe, so John Forward, obviously.
Yeah.
Sam Laidman was on.
Oh, nice.
So a year ago, Sam Laidman was up there. And
that probably would have been at that time, maybe his first 15-minute set.
It might have been.
Yeah.
He was really nervous. He was sweaty, but he had a lot
Sure.
of funny jokes.
Yeah.
The way they ran it was great.
Yeah. I love Sam, man. He makes me laugh my ass off. I fucking love that guy's comedy.
Beautiful, man.
Anybody else? Anybody else you remember?
The Reverend was there.
Nice.
Brian
Yeah.
Giles, yeah.
And did the Rev close it out? Was he the closer?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, makes
He's the
sense.
reason why I actually ended up there, in all honesty, because he's active member of the Lions Club.
Yeah, right.
So I hang out with the members of the Lions as well. So one of them brought me out to see that show.
Right.
Because he's a Lion. They all support each other.
Oh, no
so that's
shit.
what brought me in to actually see the first one.
This is how the fucking Illuminati
It's,
started right here, bud.
Exactly.
This is the fucking...
I'm in a cult. That's why
There's
I
a
smile
reason
all the
for
time.
everything.
Freemasons
Drink the
run the
Kool-Aid,
country.
boys. Drink the
Yeah,
Kool-Aid.
yeah. They're even taking over our fucking comedy, John. What are we gonna do?
What the fuck, man?
You know?
I didn't suspect it. I didn't see it coming.
How was your first time?
Way better than I thought it was.
I think I might have been.
You were there.
Yeah.
My
okay.
first
Yeah.
show, everyone else on it is still doing comedy. But there was no one-offs in it. I should get the poster print off at some point. Cause
I
cool.
saw
Yeah, you
your
definitely
first set.
should, yeah.
I was at the R Bar that night. Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, I fucking dig the shit out of your comedy, man. Because as soon as you go up there, you have this likability, and it's like you can't fucking teach it, and you can't steal it from somebody. You just have that likability up there, man. That is going to help you so much throughout comedy. I'm sure you feel it already. You know, people will look at you and go, "Oh, he looks like a fucking really nice young man. Let's listen to what he has to
think,
say."
yeah,
you
if
know,
my-
yeah,
if my memory
man.
serves
So
me
I can
correct,
grab some
you saw his
attention.
first set too. I was standing.
I
next
did.
to
That's
you.
what. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I don't know if your headphones stopped working, but that's what we were just fucking talking
Well,
about, John.
sometimes I tune out.
Jesus
Yeah, he was
Christ.
there. End of
I
the
got
show. It
other
was
dimensions to
great.
visit, right? So,
And then you're nervous. You get up there for your first time.
Yeah.
I do my jokes. I get some laughs. Great. You had that little high.
Yeah.
And the coolest thing was getting off stage the first time of comedy. You don't know how the other comedians are going to treat you.
Yeah.
And it's just like this weird embrace right off the stage. You get off there, everyone's shaking your hand, good job
Yeah.
the first time. And you're like, okay, I'm hooked. I'm going to keep doing this.
Fucking right, man. Yeah. And I think that's what suckers a lot of people into the community. Maybe not so much nowadays, but even, a year ago, the fucking people on the scene are so supportive, good people. You know what I mean? Now, I don't know if that would have been in your experience if you had a terrible fucking set.
Maybe
right?
not,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? But, yeah, well, that's great to fucking hear. So, do you count sets now, or are you still counting how many you've
No,
done?
I don't.
Good for
I
you.
could ballpark about 20 probably in the
Yeah.
first year, but
Yeah,
I don't
right.
keep track of it. And
So, what's next for you? November?
November's my next show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Are you looking? So you got beat out in the roast battle. How was that experience for you?
I'm just
Who
proud.
beat you? I
John
was.
Scove Nielsen
That's
beat
right.
me out. He
Yeah.
should have been in a legal mood to let one of the hosts join the event.
Who was one of the hosts?
John Scove Nielsen. Because he runs the roast
Oh,
battle.
that's right.
That's like going
Yeah.
against one of the teachers as a kid.
Yeah,
that's not fair,
I agree.
right?
Yeah, I
It's
agree.
rigged against you,
And
first of all.
Yeah, and a couple shows ago they had Shand as a judge, and I know why they did it is because she didn't get an opportunity to roast that night because who is she? Oh, Joe Butler. Joe Butler couldn't make it, so she was left without
she
without
was
an
the judge in
opponent.
the first two rounds. Both
Was
of
it the
them.
first two rounds?
Yeah,
Yeah.
she was up
So
there
that
with
was
you.
kind of, I thought that was a little bit fucking sketchy too, right? Bit of a conflict of interest to have a participant,
Well, it didn't help.
But
didn't help her much.
It did not help her when she went against fucking Jonathan Nesbitt. Jesus Christ. Do you not like her or something, Bunch? Like, what the fuck was that all about? Like,
What?
you were pretty rough on her, dude.
You think?
I think it was a fucking great roast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, that's,
Did she, she really made me laugh, though, when she said that about you. You look like a guy who fucking spends all his money on Proline.
Yeah,
Because
it
you
was a good
really
line.
do.
It
You
was a
really
good
do
line.
fit that description.
Yeah.
It was actually really fucking accurate. I enjoyed that. Other than that, she didn't have much for one half of the plastic frog.
Yeah, I mean, it's I'm not gonna slag her. She put forth a good effort.
Now, what would have happened if we had Plastic Frog co-hosts fucking head to head in this thing? Would you guys have thrown the fight, or would you have?
It'd be like a
gone-
Hoveland, like Adam versus James.
Yeah, but
kinda
that's
skit.
wow. That was a skit, right? Would you
Yeah.
guys have done that or gone for a real fucking roast?
No, it didn't happen, so we didn't
No,
have
it
to worry
should
about
happen.
it.
All
I'm gonna set it up. Yeah, I think we
Make
should
it
set this
happen.
fucking up right here.
Yeah,
That'd
I
be
think
interesting,
I'd destroy him.
You're still active in the tournament. Oh boy, here we go.
Start the
So we're
bad
gonna set this up
Yeah.
now. Especially here we go. If you end up winning this whole competition, and that's fucking possible.
Oh, it's definitely possible.
It's down to 4 people.
Well, you
now.
have to believe, right? You have to believe.
What did you think about the John Ford versus TJ Boyce there?
I thought that was a very excellent.
Some
match.
people are torn on it. So how did you
Yeah.
have it?
If I had have been an impartial judge and
Yeah.
not been in the competition,
Right.
for one thing,
course.
I think my vote would have went towards John Forward.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll give you my reason, because I live streamed it and I've watched it again, and
Right.
I went back and I listened actually to that rap song. Okay, so
Yeah.
just in my mind, to be able to go out and perform to the beat
Yeah.
a song, and then I actually listened to the lyrics, and like his slams in there were heavy duty.
Yeah, right.
Okay, to write content like that for a song, perform it, and then do 3 rounds of jokes after that. that were more, I felt his stuff was more tailored specifically towards Travis, where Travis was doing that character, but it was just mostly just generic. Like you could have any man standing there.
Oh, I
and say that
Oh, I
stuff to
disagree.
him.
I think you should go back and listen to Travis's content. Now, I will agree with you about John's song was great. Now he was cheating, not cheating, but he had already wrote that song. Like he's known that song. I think he wrote that song in like 2011, 2012. Not with those lyrics, obviously.
Sub some lyrics,
right?
yeah.
So, but he still super impressive.
Yeah.
But I think you should go back and give that a listen because Travis hit him on the open relationship stuff. He hit him on a lot of stuff. There were some generic stuff, like as far as the bombs and stuff like that. I would agree with you there.
Is specific, yeah. I suppose. I mean,
I almost gave it to John just because Travis choked so bad.
Yeah,
but then
his choke
John
was
choked
a
as
little
well.
bit more severe than John's. I mean, John had his paper there. If he didn't have his paper, maybe it would have been as bad as Travis's. Who knows how long it would have taken?
Yeah,
right?
but he was shook enough to bring out papers.
Exactly. Yeah. So they both, they kind of was like push on that. They both equal.
It was a very, very close one.
Yeah.
For sure.
I mean, I don't think it's unfair to say Travis won because it was so tight.
Mm-hmm.
I just saying that I probably would have given it to John, but just for the pre-song. You know, in my mind, that was just enough to edge him over just a tiny bit.
I thought they were just about dead even on the entrance.
Yeah,
I thought they were just about dead even.
Yeah, I mean, Travis does the slam poetry in the entrance there too.
Yeah,
right?
the difference I thought what got me was Travis actually walked over to John and got right in his fucking face while he was spitting at him.
That's true.
I like that too.
That is true.
Well, maybe we talked those boys into doing a rematch on the same card that you guys throw down on after this whole fucking tournament's
like
over.
a non-title, just like a friggin' let's have some fun.
Yeah, and I'd like to challenge David Hall right fucking now, right here on this show. I'm just joking.
I'm
just fucking joking.
Yeah.
I'm not roasting anybody.
I wanted to go against David Hall as well.
Yeah, that would be very
just
interesting.
Because he's the only one in our scene, like me and him are in the same age bracket.
Yeah, right.
Just to be us two going against each other would be pretty interesting.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, that was a fun show. Man, weird crowd in the beginning though. Very fucking stingy in the beginning.
I think, like you said on your podcast, though, I think there was some pre-crowd fatigue. It started late.
Started way too late. Fuck, that pissed me off.
And people were it took them a while to start giving it up. They didn't really start giving it up until Chris Hovey came up and just knocked it out of the park with his set, right?
Yeah, I agree. I thought John Scove Nielsen did a good job trying to get the fucking crowd going, but
the set that you missed, the Jason Guptill, his stuff is solid, man. Like that's good. He's got this wicked bit about Braille on baseball jerseys. I'm not going to burn the guy's bit or say anything beyond that, but it's a killer bit. And nobody was loud. I was sitting at the bar losing it, but I've heard it, even the second time I was still losing it for that bit. Like I've heard it once before.
Yeah, I heard that bit once too. And it's a very good bit.
It's a great bit.
Yeah.
And I was losing it for it even the second time.
Does he do comedy, Jason Guptill? Does he do comedy anywhere else? Like has he done our bar and stuff?
I don't think Jason's ever done the R Bar.
No, I've seen him at Yuks.
Oh, he's done Yuks Amateur?
Yuks,
okay, yeah.
And
He
McGill's
said
the
he
only
said he
two
never did
places
the R
I've
Bar.
seen him. I don't know if he's traveled anywhere yet.
Yeah.
But
Nice kid. I
he's
met him there.
relatively new.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah. So what prompted you guys to start this podcast together? It's not, it's not exactly a likely fucking pairing if you were to look at any two guys in the comedy scene. I think you two be the last guys I put together for a fucking podcast. How'd this come about? You've done enough talking, John. Don't look at him. I'm fucking talking to you.
Don't look at him. John asked. That's what happened.
Oh,
I've always
really?
wanted to do podcast and recording. I wanted to jump into that.
Right.
But no one in my friend circle wanted to do it with me.
Sure.
No other comedians that close. And one day John made a joke about actually wanting to do it.
Right.
And then we were on other people's podcasts and they're talking about it. And John re-upped on me like, okay, let's bite the bullet. Let's do this.
Yes.
I think it'd be more interesting almost with people.
It
does seem like an odd combo.
Yeah, but that's a great thing, man. Like my fight podcast, I picked somebody who just got into fights, like just got into the UFC as a fan, and I thought that's a better perspective, right, than to have two old school guys, one guy that's been in it from the beginning, one guy who just got in. You know what I mean? It's very interesting to listen to. Now I will say, you guys got to find a better place to record this shit. That the audio on number 2 wasn't terrible, but it is distracting.
Yeah, I definitely imagine it would be.
Do you guys not have anywhere inside other than a fucking vehicle?
With a find a place.
Yeah.
We're gonna record the next one, I believe, at the Brian. I call Brian. What am I doing?
Brian.
Brian Godso. Double
Brian
G.
Brodso.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brian's place. He's volunteered to have us into his place, so we'll set up our gear and see how much of it works.
Yeah.
And we're not masters of the equipment yet.
Sure.
No, yeah,
Takes
definitely
time.
a
Takes time,
learning
man.
curve on the microphones and the thing. Oh, we'll get it eventually, I guess.
Oh yeah, in the
Yeah.
beginning, man, mine was fucking horrible. Right,
Yeah.
And my audio was terrible.
Yeah, we had some shitty audio on number 2, but I think I don't know if you heard the whole thing.
I've only got like maybe 35 minutes
Yeah,
into it.
I
better.
think really
Yeah, oh, it
towards
does.
the
Oh,
end.
okay.
it
Well,
gets
there you go.
Like
Yeah.
I think we hit our stride in that one. I think I listened to it a couple times because it's on my computer, just the raw version of it.
Sure. And you're an
uh,
egomaniac, so we
course,
listen to it. Yeah,
of
6, 7
course.
times.
Who doesn't want to hear laughs from me more than me?
Sure.
And so I was laughing my ass off. It was an LMAO moment.
Is that right?
So yeah, by the end, like there was some good shit in the end.
Yes. Well, I'm looking forward to listening to the rest of it.
I'd say from like, unfortunately, like 45 minutes. Like the second half's definitely stronger. on
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
More loose.
Oh yeah,
Distracted.
Yeah, we hit our stride.
Now,
bad sound.
if you were going to do it with one of your friends, what was the topic going to be? Were you going to do like a comedy deal, or what were you going to do?
No, it definitely wouldn't be about comedy. I don't know. Maybe I was going to be egotistical and just talk about what I thought randomly.
whatever.
Just off
Yeah.
the cuff.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
This is what bugged me this week.
Yeah, I love that
it-
shit
it-
though too. I like just random podcasts, man. I enjoy that. Other than just okay, let's talk about nothing but comedy or nothing but fighting. It's
Yeah.
nice to have a
If you
free
listen to
flow
this,
conversation.
This
right?
podcast, it's not strictly about comedy. If you get, I break down a lot of different things, my perspective. On
Yeah.
some things.
Yeah,
I touch on
And you're
hermetics,
Yes.
aliens.
yeah.
The only
yeah,
problem with
touched
that is that
on-
I zone out sometimes.
Well, John actually does quite a bit of fucking research on shit like that.
does. He's well read on this
So he could
subject.
put you to fucking sleep. He's got enough information on it,
He's
Yes.
preaching the gospel
I-
when he's
I
talking
do-
about it.
I
You
hang
can
out-
see the passion behind
hang
his
out with-
eyes.
Oh, yeah,
Old
big
people.
time.
They hire me at old people's places, and I just talk to them, and they nod off.
Old people.
eventually. Yeah, just old
Put him to
people.
sleep. No drugs needed.
Yeah.
Now,
Nesbitt.
so I had Nesbitt on here quite a few months ago, and we talked a lot about conspiracy. And I got a lot of feedback. People loved it, and people specifically enjoyed John and his takes on conspiracy. Of course, everyone loves me, and that's why they listen. But they did, on this one, like John. And anyway, are you into this conspiracy fucking shit too? Are you into any of this
No.
stuff? Or you're
I
not?
might have to
this
I might get brainwashed.
Yeah,
though.
this is gonna be a fun night
Yeah,
for
I
you.
guess
Yeah,
we-
all right.
I have a programmable unit here with
That's
me.
what he's trying to
Yes.
do,
Yes.
Like, I just try to
Yes.
live my life every day, but now I'm gonna get swollen into this.
Yeah.
I'm trying to bring in David Hall as well, but he's a little bit too intelligent. So
Yeah.
Oh yeah, thanks. Thanks.
We will get into the conspiracy, but I do want to ask you guys, and I'll ask you first, Austin. How was that? All three of us were involved in a workshop with Darren Frost and Kenny Robinson this past Saturday. How was that experience for you?
That was very informative just to listen to the comedian who's actually toured Canada professionally.
Yeah.
Like, you can't, most things in life, you can get advice from somebody who's done it before.
Right.
Like, but professional comedians, you don't get that chance to have that genuine preaching at you. Like, this
Yeah.
is what you don't do.
Yeah.
This is what you do.
Well, there's not too
where
many
it's
people
actually
who have
believable.
done
Yeah.
it, right? It's a very small group of people, so
So you just kind of like absorb it like a sponge when he's talking. You're like, oh, it makes
Yeah.
perfect sense. Like when we watch comedy shows, I think we go like, what's funny, what's not funny.
Yeah.
And someone who's been doing it that long, he's like, well, this is what worked. This is exactly what didn't work.
Yeah.
And this is what's not going to work for you guys as well. And when he says it, you're like, oh, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
But I know my brain, I'm not smart enough. I wouldn't clue into that. Like maybe a
On
decade
your
of
own.
knowledge.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
when he's giving us those tips. And then
Yeah.
hear them there, like, oh, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, it's
Remember that.
invaluable experience. I thought, like, when he was talking about, specifically about hosting and
Yes,
what
that
not
was-
to do,
that was the one
and,
I was high
and
on.
everybody's role, like as the middle,
Yeah.
what you're supposed to do and stuff.
that was
I took
very
a lot of.
eye-opening stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. What did you think of Kenny's portion of it? Having to write that. You had to go up first too, didn't you?
I didn't have to. I volunteered.
Right,
I will
yeah, yeah.
always bite the bullet. Like,
Right.
If you go up first, you don't have to be the best.
That's
People
true.
will forget about you.
and your
So-
pressure's off immediately.
Exactly.
And-
So
yeah.
I'm always ready to jump in first.
Mark, you closed it down.
I
and if
closed
you're
it
looking
down.
at it that way, you
well,
have to
and
be
it's a
the
good
best.
goddamn thing because honestly, so Kenny comes out, right? I don't know if you guys like. I was speaking up in fucking class here because the shit wasn't fair. He's like, I'm gonna give you 5 minutes to read it and then 10 minutes to write. Well, after 1 minute,
like,
he
"Yeah."
cancels the 5 minutes. He's like 10 minutes. I'm like 10 minutes, motherfucker. I haven't even. And what I pulled out was a piece of fucking loose leaf with some David Hall chicken scratch on it. I didn't even have a newspaper clipping. So here I'm online trying to find the best fucking story for it. By the time you got up, and started, doing your jokes that you'd worked on, I was just starting to fucking write. Because even in that quote unquote 10 minutes that he gave us to write, he talked through the whole fucking thing.
There was no legitimate time to come up with anything.
No
solid.
time, man. No time at all. But yeah, so how was that for you? You actually had some good stuff.
I had one solid thing about there with a rhyme.
Yeah, I thought you killed it. I thought Godso killed it. I thought you killed it.
I love how Godso gave it. Like,
Godso
the
really
microphone up
fucking
there.
gave it.
Godso grabbed the microphone. Like, I'm Brian Godso.
Yeah.
And did it. Like, he did like it was a comedy set. I like that a lot.
I liked it a lot too. I
Yeah.
thought that Brian was the only one who really looked like he was just doing a set.
Yeah,
You
really.
know? Like he got fucking right into it.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
enough.
I enjoyed the hell out of that.
It was fun. It was fun.
How was it for you?
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I basically when you just have time to come up with premises, then it's hard to have it fully explained. So I felt like one of the premises that I had, it was sort of just like, it would definitely need work. Like you could work on it and make it funny.
Sure.
But it was like, it's a little underwhelmed. And then I think the only reason that I did all right was when we started kind of riffing back, talking a little bit about ideas. Then
Shooting
I was
it off
able
the
to come
room.
up with stuff based off of
pressure's
like,
off.
my
Yeah.
brain got sent somewhere and then something came out of me quickly.
Yeah. Well,
Right?
and that's the thing. I think Kenny, what he was trying to get across is like how important it is to bounce things off other people, right? Because that's essentially what started to fucking happen, right? Okay, this is what he's done with it. Anyone else think anything else? And people were yelling shit out, kind of like a writing room situation.
Yeah.
I think that was kind of cool.
That's what was. I think that was the best part of all of it. Was
Right.
just the people
Not good enough to stick around for Kenny's set last night, but
onto
sure,
it.
it's.
I had to go. I had to do a set of my own. I had places to be.
Was it worth it?
Yeah. No. I would have rather stayed for the whole. Was it worth it to go to the R Bar and bomb? According to
That's how you learn.
You fucking bomb. Anyway, I had a better impression earlier, but yeah. So, but
I think did you miss the chick leaving Yuks with a handful of
No one else
her
saw
own
that.
fucking vomit?
No,
I fucking
no.
saw
Me
it.
and you saw it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I did not catch that.
I asked all the other comedians who were there. No one else saw.
No one
that.
else noticed.
No, because I was like, you guys didn't see that halfway through the set.
Oh man, there was like a 40-something broad in there, and I saw her coming. She was coming around the corner, pretty hot. She must have been on the opposite side of the fucking room from us,
Booging.
and she was barfing into her hand as she was running
Oh
by
yeah,
Austin.
she was leaking. Oh,
The
yeah.
old-
And
the
you
old
could,
number
you could
three,
smell it
that's-
afterwards.
Oh,
like
no.
you were in second row. I was up front.
She barfed right in
And I
front
was-
of you.
Yeah, I was like leaking in, and I was like, "Oh, that's not what I just saw." And like the smells is mixing in with my beer I'm drinking. I'm like, like a little bit there.
Fucking
Trying to pay attention to the comedy show. I'm like, do I move seats now? Do I stay here for the rest of it?
You were a trooper. You stayed put.
I am.
Yeah.
I couldn't move.
Yeah, it was. It was 8:45 p.m. You know,
She was
Day
She's
drinking.
already fucking
Day drinking.
barfing into
Yeah.
her hand.
That's
And
St.
she didn't
John.
run to the bathroom. Did you catch that?
No, she went right out the door.
Yeah, she went out the door.
Yeah,
like
She probably wasn't all that. Maybe it was her first time in there. Didn't know where the bathroom was. She knew where the
Rookie
outside
mistake.
was.
Yeah.
I was like, fucking. I know for certain.
She never came back
If
into
I
the
make
show.
it down these stairs, I could puke right outside this door.
Yeah.
But not in. I don't know where the toilet is.
She would have been far too mortified to come back in. But her husband went out and checked on her eventually.
did he come
Little-
back?
Yeah,
Little back
yeah,
rubbing.
eventually.
Yeah, a little back
Nice.
rubbing out there. Yeah.
This happens every time, Heather.
Yeah, exactly.
She got to learn how to keep number 3 down.
Oh, that was kind of fucking nasty.
It was.
Great show though. I thought Darren was stronger than Kenny.
I agree.
Just got a better reaction from the crowd. Darren's stage presence, man. Oh fuck, man, he was on points all night.
I caught most of his set, and I was like blown away by it. That was eye opening. I was like, the fucky thing. They kept calling that guy in the front
Yeah,
row. Fuck,
that's
that
his
was
thing.
That
Yeah,
was
you
impressive.
know that's his thing, right? Yeah.
Is it? I learned that now, but
We did a show with him. He got a hold of Mux when he was down. Like I think it was like 20, maybe 15. Might even have been 2013. But anyway, we brought him down, and I had seen I'd seen Darren perform lots, never in person though, and I was really looking forward to seeing him do the fucky thing. Well, the only show where we actually got enough people for Darren to perform at was at Callahan's. There were 9 people there.
oh no.
And he didn't do a fucky because there were just too few people, And but he did something else, man. Instead of doing fucky, he did like there was a wall right beside him, and he would just like pause every now and again and like draw his finger on the wall. Like he found another fucking thing to do that was was interesting when he couldn't keep going to fucky, because I'm sure that's a bit of a crutch for him, right? You pick out that one fucking guy and it helps you. Well, he didn't have that at this show, but he found a way. Man, Darren's a fucking genius.
He's
fucking comedy
like,
genius.
like that. Now, if I'm gonna do air quotes killer, I'll just sub in the word Darren Frost.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just put it in there.
He's a killer.
I can't imagine
Yeah.
being on the level where you're like, okay, all my material's solid enough. Let's focus on all the other aspects.
Yeah.
Like the words that come out of your mouth are guaranteed. You're that confident in them. So
Yeah.
your brain's rotating on every single other thing. How am I standing? Like, what's the room? Who do I call fucky?
Yeah.
Like all that's being analyzed and results instantaneously on the fly.
Yeah.
It's like almost like watching like a professional athlete like skating or playing hockey versus a regular person. Like,
Yeah.
they got so many things in their mind.
Yeah.
And it's just so
Yeah,
impressive.
he's juggling a lot of shit
Yeah.
up there. Yeah, absolutely.
It's like here's the starting point. A year in, there's the end point. 28 years in. That's
Yeah.
where you want to get.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. Yeah.
So-
Well, and Darren, the thing is, and Darren touched on this a little bit at his workshop. Sometimes your personality can get even the worst material over, right? Your stage presence, your personality, the physical stuff can often get even material that's not super strong over strong if you know what you're doing.
Yeah, and
he certainly fucking knows what he's doing.
Yeah, it's talking about like how you can't rely on the energy and the personality all the time because you're gonna have days when you're not gonna want to put
Yeah.
that energy into it.
Oh, yeah.
And then Mona was like, I should just walk out right now. That's my strongest factor is the energy and the personality.
Yeah,
I don't know,
yeah.
maybe I gotta write
You
more or something.
didn't catch my zinc because I went up right after David Hall at the R Bar, and actually my first part of my set I got some laughs, and because I had a couple of things that I came up with on the fly, plus jokes that I knew had worked before, but David Hall just get up there, and his stage presence, how weird and strange he seems, right?
Very strange.
So this was my.
It's working for him, yeah.
Yeah. So I went up and just immediately I could just feel like the way he was. Thanks. I could just see the way he was. His people were feeling him. So it seemed obvious, and I was like, because I knew what my first joke was going to be about space being fake. So to lead into that, I had
Space being fake.
Yeah, that was my first joke. But anyway, but anyway, so to lead into that, I said, well, if any of you had any doubts that aliens are real, I think David Hall just proved that they are. So, that one went over. Yeah. So after like the way that he had just done a set and just
Did he do
the
well,
way
though,
people
or
were
did he
seeing
get
them.
stared at?
Yeah, he did well. Like his stuff's
He's
good.
getting-
He's getting so good. Yeah.
He's improving dramatically.
like every
fast.
time I
Yeah.
see him, he's a little bit better.
Yeah, like the first couple I seen, it was some funny. Like he had some good writing in there, but it was covered up more by that personality.
Yeah.
And like the more and more, he's just same personality, but the jokes are just getting better and better.
What the fuck
Yeah.
happened there now?
He's got that.
impressed by him.
He's got that odd little, that almost seems like a nervous twitch,
Yeah.
and that nervous kind of in between, and those pauses, that pregnant kind of, whatever it is that he's got there. Just seeing that happen, he doesn't even have to say anything sometimes, and you're just laughing at what's going on, what you're actually seeing with your eyes on the stage, and it's just like. And then he says it's his really intelligent, sharp, quick stuff, and then it's like, and then he can hit home on some of those too, right?
He's got
So-
great material, man.
Yeah,
He's got when his stage presence catches up to his material, he's going to be a fucking killer, man. He's going to be a killer. And he's so strange to look at, But that's a compliment.
Yeah,
It really
it's
is.
comedy to stand out. That's
Definitely
something,
different.
right? So yeah.
Can you hear through your headphones at all right now at this point?
Well, the more you struggle with that chord, the more you choke it out. But yeah, it's back. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
I can hear now.
That's good for me too.
Yeah.
How is it for you, Austin?
it's
yeah,
beautiful.
nobody fucking cares.
Yeah.
Fucking
That's why you didn't
Let's
get a
move on.
set. That's why we didn't give you a set of headphones.
Austin, what's been your biggest moment so far in comedy?
The highest moment?
Yeah.
I did Hell's Basement. I did a middle spot there.
Oh, nice.
The week before you last went there. You guys' posters were up on the urinal.
Oh, you're welcome.
above them, yeah. So, no, that was the highest moment of my comedy career so far. Because
Yeah.
I didn't... Like most shows I get now, you gotta whore yourself out a little bit. Like you just gotta ask and
Yeah.
you just get on.
Yeah.
I was requested to go onto the Hell Basement.
Oh, no shit.
Someone was like, "Do you want to do it?" And like you play it cool. You're like, "I'd love to do it." And
Yeah.
inside, you're like,
I
"Oh my
guess.
god, I made it!" Like
Yeah.
this is my all-star moment.
Yeah, someone offered it to you. That's
Yes.
fucking fantastic. So who else was on that show?
Oh, I'm gonna Jimmy McKinley.
Oh,
was the
okay.
headliner.
Didn't you have Eric Chase
Eric
on that
Chason
one?
was in there. He did
Oh,
great.
beautiful.
Yeah.
And one other person who I'm blanking on her name right now.
Right,
but,
right.
But she was good as
Was
well.
that Lynn, the French girl there, Lynn Woods?
Was it a Moncton,
that one.
female Moncton comic?
It was.
Yeah.
But
I'm not familiar with the lot. Like, quite a few came out of Nikki Payne's class. It was
I think
when-
she's one of the ones who came out of there.
Yeah.
She's introduced me
Christy
to other comedians.
Sauvain
there.
Gauvin or Sauvé Gauvin.
That's who it was.
Yes.
Yeah, you're right.
Now, do you guys get a little? You think it's a little sexist that Nikki Payne's doing this all women's fucking comedy class here? Like, what do you?
It's like
Look at you two squirm. I love it.
It's like the gym having an all Good Life's got a whole spot for just to stick women and they block it out so
Right.
nobody can look in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
because
you-
they know there'd be a bunch of creepy dudes on the other side of the glass just drooling, and there'd be no workout getting done. Like they'd be bringing their sandwiches in.
Do you think there's
know?
Do you think there's a difference between male and female comedy?
Absolutely,
Depends.
absolutely.
Yeah.
It vastly depends on how the female wants to roll with it.
Yeah, right.
Like if her perspective's to go full on, I'm a woman, and these
Yeah.
are my women things, and that's how you get laughs is one thing. But if you have,
There's a lot of that, right?
there is, I guess, it's
I
something.
find
Well,
most-
same with any
most
comedian.
women, I
you
find, are
use what
playing
you
to
know.
women.
Well, yeah, same with
Yeah.
dudes. I mean, it's a lot of dick jokes, right?
Yeah,
Right.
From a lot of
Some,
dudes.
yeah.
Yeah, it's not it's not one better than the other or anything like that. It's what I don't understand. That people there's a lot of female comics that I don't like. There's a lot of fucking male comics I don't like too. But people always point the finger. Oh, you just hate fucking women and you don't like women in comedy. No, it's not true. It's
You
just,
like funny.
I like relatable female comedy, like Bonnie McFarlane, for example. Sarah Silverman, people like that.
Yep.
I just don't relate to someone like Amy Schumer. Where all she's like, it's just too over the top.
I think
for
the
me.
most impressive female comic that I've seen, and she's from St. John, but she's based out of Halifax now, is Chanel.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw her just destroy at Chuckles. And
Right.
I was like, wow. I was like, and her style was a little bit different.
must
just
have
a
been-
lot of
that-
tags.
Yeah, she does have a lot of tags.
Yeah.
That must have been before the last time she was down, the most recent.
It would have been a year ago. It was actually exactly a year ago. It was last October.
Now, was she hosting or doing a spot?
She did a spot.
She did a spot, yeah.
Yeah.
Because she hosted the last show I was on at Chuckles.
Yeah, I've never seen her host anything.
And man, the crowds were fucking tough on her both nights.
Oh, yeah?
Both nights, man. But they were tough on Dan Terrio too and Drake Tobias.
Yeah.
It's
okay.
That can be a fucking stingy room. Have you taken in some shows there? Have you watched some
I have
shows
not,
at
I
Chuckles?
just-
You haven't even been there to see a
I've
show?
lapsed on that one.
Oh,
Just,
Jesus,
I got to
dude.
get in and watch a few
Yeah.
shows.
I went up
yeah.
to the Shane show at on Friday night there as well.
Yeah, talk to
Yeah.
me about that. Now I heard there were some fucking bombs in the room. Let's talk about that show.
Yeah. Like speaking
I haven't
of
talked to
Chuckles, because Shane's the Chuckles guy. That's why I brought it up. But,
Did you go to that show as well Friday night?
didn't, no.
he wasn't.
all right.
That's a fail.
But you hate Shane
It's
Ogden?
an
Like, what is
Austin
That's what it is,
fail.
actually. Yeah. I just
They gotta
hate
be.
Shane.
Fuck you, Shane.
You heard it here
Hey,
now.
I hated him too when I first started. Don't worry.
Bluecast. Yeah, there's a beef. No, Shane's a good dude. But,
Fucking right.
Yeah, Shane killed because he's doing 45. It's his show.
Right.
I love that
He
he's been
killed.
working material with the rest of us recently, too.
Yeah, I mean,
Like, over the last
Shane's a
6
good
months,
dude.
Shane's been
Yeah.
doing... Like, I've done shows with Shane.
Yeah,
And, like,
absolutely.
the first 6 I didn't see him, and then the last ones he's been working it. It's really
Yeah,
cool to
man.
watch how he works his jokes.
It took a long
Yeah,
time
fucking
for
right.
Shane to figure out who I was, but now that he knows, he
wishes
knows,
he did.
It's good. Yeah. Well, he gave me a big hug, like when I came in, and because I think I was like, me and David Hall were the only comics that other than the comics on the bill, so it was all just like regular kind of audience people. Like I didn't see any other comics in the audience, so I
Yeah.
think he appreciated that.
Yeah, yeah.
And then he comes over, he's like, "Did you pay to get in?" And I said, "Yeah. Well, how else am I going to get in?"
fuck,
And
he'd
then
be so mad.
Yeah, and then he
Yeah.
goes, "Oh, you should have just shot me a message. I would have put you in." I was
Yeah, how
like-
does that feel,
I was
John,
like,
to be
well,
asking
how
you
do
to pay
I
to get into a show?
How do I go from you thinking that I'm John Scove Nielsen
Right.
to me getting in for free? Like this is I've upped myself somehow. But I was like, he must know who I am now. I was like, okay, I'll chalk that off in the memory.
Well, the
But-
funny
but,
thing
yeah.
is, like, there's so many. We'll come back to the show, but there's so many new comics on the scene for guys like Shane and I who don't go out all the time.
Yeah.
And have been around for a while. I mean, especially Shane. I mean, Christ, he's been around forever. But it's hard to fucking keep everybody straight, And that's why I said, like, Godso asked me if I wanted to do a show in St. Stephen in March, and I said, yeah. And he said, oh yeah, me, you, and Arif, and someone else too. And I said, yeah. I said, why don't we throw fucking Nesbitt on there for 10? You know what I mean? Get him fucking doing road trips with some fucking OG comics. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're gonna include the newer class of fucking
Bring
guys,
in some
right?
fresh blood. Yeah.
Yeah, like when Shane and I went up to Hell's Basement last time, that's what I said to him. I said, well, let's throw John Scove Nielsen on there, man. I just had him on my podcast. He's a good guy. He's, he's doing
I heard
some-
he did well.
He did fucking
Yeah.
very well, man. And so then what we got to do is start, bringing. But you can only bring so many people on so many fucking shows. We get Austin Hill on the next one,
Some
and
hell action.
But that's what it takes. That's what it takes is a trip like that, some
Yeah.
familiarity with people, and then other things will start to open up.
yeah,
right?
man.
That's how
And
it
the
is.
onus is on guys like me and guys like Shane to include you fucking guys, and you know what I mean, and go on those fucking trips.
I mean,
and
Shane
stuff.
did tell me one time when I saw him at Yuks, and then after that, he still thought I was John Scove Nielsen. But anyway, to come by Chuckles or just hit the
First
Julie
name's
up.
right.
Huh?
John's close enough.
Yeah. I
else
mean,
did you want?
Sure.
Well, I
What's
could have
your
stolen
basis?
his set. I walked up to see a show that night at Chuckles. It was Matt Keenan was on, John Scove was on. This was the one where the biker girl came in, the
yeah,
high
the
pitched,
one-off one,
the
yeah.
high pitched voice, and she wasn't all that good. And but anyway, and then they had this. I called her the armpit. She was like the inside out version of Roseanne Barr. This woman.
Gross.
Yeah, she was just so. She's got
You can paint a
digits.
picture.
She's got fingers that look like they've been melted off. She actually has fingers that are gone.
What the
She uses it in her comedy.
Who is this?
And she got up.
This
and
was that motorcycle chick
All she
who-
talks about is vaginas 100%
Right.
of the time.
Oh, no.
And missing fingers, and
Oh, Jesus.
it's an experience.
What was her name?
Michelle
Michelle
Petit.
Petite.
Petit, yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard 0 rave reviews.
And she
about
thinks that
show.
I'm Shane Ogden. That's the best part. She's asked me 3 times, "Hey Shane, how you doing?" I'm
That's
like,
hilarious.
"I'm not Shane Ogden."
That's
Yeah.
hilarious.
But anyway, so I walk up and Shane's standing there having a butt or something. I don't know if he smokes. Maybe just standing there,
doesn't smoke.
maybe just standing there talking to people that were having a butt. Anyway,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
in my mind, that's what it seemed like was going on.
Sure.
And he's like, "Hey," he's like, "Oh, go right in. There's water in the back. You'll be doing 10 minutes, or however. What's like, keep it to this amount of time." And
Right,
I'm like, "Oh, all right, man. Thanks. I'm on the show. Right
you
on." I
serious?
just walked right up. Yeah. And then I'm like, "Wait a minute. He doesn't know who I am." And then
Wait a minute,
and then
I'm not on this
And then I
show.
came back and I'm like, "You know that I'm not John Scove Nielsen, right?" And he's like, "Oh, okay, sorry."
That's hilarious.
yeah.
Oh, man, that's fucking great. You should have got up and done a fucking set.
Well, that's
but-
the
Yeah, you
thing.
should've-
That would have been the best part if
Yeah.
they go, "And here comes John Scove Nielsen," and I come flying up.
He
That
wouldn't
would've-
have cared.
That
Not
would have
that
been
night. He didn't-
super fucking awkward.
Yeah, he wouldn't have-
Between
yeah.
me and John, anyway, it would have been awkward. But yeah, so I just steal a spot like that.
Austin, you got to get out and see some shows at Chuckles.
I definitely do. Yeah.
Comics get in free. You're not going to have to pay.
Oh, good.
Make
Yeah,
sure he
it's
knows
a,
who you are though first. But yeah.
Definitely come out and see it because you certainly want to work towards getting a spot there, man. That's such a great fucking room. Such a great room. I would liken it to, a place like Hell's Basement.
Okay.
People come there for comedy.
You can feel the love.
Sometimes you can feel
No?
the hate.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I mean,
but you're going to feel something.
Okay, that's good.
It's just
I'll figure
it's
it
just
out then
another
next month.
room. It's just a different room. Like how when you're up at Yuks, it feels like it's a different room, it has a different feel. When you're at McGill's, it's a different feel. The R Bar, different feel. Chuckles, same thing.
They need an elevated stage there at McGill's. Have you done Chuckles yet? Have you performed there yet? No. You're about fucking due there.
Yeah, well, he did tell me to reach out to Julie, and it's just on me. But the only reason that I really haven't is the whole, in my mind, it was like, I'm not sure if they knew who I am kind of thing. And then also, it's across town. I don't have a car. Well,
Yeah.
I could take a bus or something,
Sure.
I guess, right? Or
Yeah.
take a cab to the show and then blow my whole budget that way on it,
Sure.
But yeah.
Well, he's
so-
going to pay you for it, right? So
Yeah. So just put the money in the cab guy's hand then.
That's what I love about Shane, man. He's been putting money in the hands of local comics for, since 2009. He's a fucking good guy that way. So let's talk about his show there that he put on.
Yeah, it was a good show.
So who was all on the show? Talk me
Okay,
to it.
first up was Anthony Bryan, Trinidad and Tobago guy out of Fredericton.
Right, I haven't seen him yet. I've heard
Yeah,
good things
I've
about
seen
him.
I've seen him. He was on the one.
Is he a good comic?
He's good. He was on that Hampton show that the Rev did at Matt Keenan put on that I did a guest spot there. You were in the audience. It's a while ago.
Okay.
The Legion.
Austin's like, I'm going to take your word for
The
that
Legion.
one, man.
You were
This is-
there. I shook your hand.
I know. I was drinking heavily. At
The Legion. Anyway,
So you do it at
so
Legion.
he came down and did well. The
was
Legion.
good,
The
though.
Legion
Yeah,
people, the old people liked him. And
Austin,
but
you're not coming through very good.
they didn't have a lot of love for him on Friday night at the Arts Center.
They did not have love
no,
for him?
people did not.
Just-
they weren't really digging it.
Just 1 second. Just say hello to me, Austin.
Hello.
All right, there you are. Okay.
Hello, my baby.
Yeah.
Hello.
So I thought his stuff was strong,
Right.
but he didn't really get the love he deserved.
Yeah. That can be a weird room, too.
Yeah.
That art center room.
Yeah. And then up next was
Who is hosting this show?
Chris Hovey.
Oh, Chris Hovey was
hosted,
hosting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Chris Hovey didn't get what he deserved.
What did he do, like
know?
15 off the top?
Yeah, he did some time off the top. It took a bit for the crowd to really get warmed up, and
Yeah.
and he, Chris Hovey's got strong stuff.
Oh,
so,
dude, he's a fucking
so,
killer.
he didn't get what he deserved. So Anthony Bryan came up. There was other people. Jillian Graves did a set.
How'd she do?
I've seen her do better.
Yeah.
I've seen her do much better. She didn't, she
Stingy
was
crowd again
Stingy
for
crowd
her.
for her. Yeah. I've seen her like kill pretty hard.
Yeah.
And it didn't happen there. She asked me to record it, so I recorded it from above for her.
Yeah,
And
right.
just handed her phone after.
Sure, she's enjoying that now.
Yeah, well, you're gonna learn from the bad
That's
one.
it. You
You're gonna
win or
learn
you
from
fucking
that
learn,
too,
man.
right?
That's the way it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she deserved better. And then Joe Butler was the standout set for
Yeah,
me.
you were
Other
saying
than
this
Shane,
yesterday.
man.
Yeah.
What Joe came up and did was he had this whole thing going on, and Shane was standing behind a curtain picking music for people, okay? And it was just weird and random, and people were like, some people were really objecting to the music. Yeah, like, like almost like Benny Hill going on or something, right? And so Joe came up, and somehow it just meshed. It came together like Shane had picked this music that perfectly fit what Joe was doing. He came up, and he took out a hanger, and he went to like put his coat, like his sport coat, like he had this nice coat and like a Hawaiian shirt on underneath it, and then he just took the hanger and just dropped it. Like there was nothing there. and he came up with this big table, a circular table,
Right.
with no glass in it. Okay, like a big, one of those metal wire tables.
Sure.
Put it down, took out his bottle of water, started drinking it, and put it on the table, and it dropped, and then the water spilled all over the stage.
I suppose he's doing
Right?
fucking prop comedy?
No, but that wasn't the bit. Then his material after that, like that was like interesting and funny. Okay,
Right,
but
right.
then when you started talking, he just destroyed. Like
No
I was
shit.
sitting right in the front, and I was like, I've never seen Joe do that well. Like,
Yeah.
and be that funny. Like, I've seen him, do well, like be okay. and,
Sure, yeah.
Well,
Well,
but
we've all seen him struggle quite a bit too, you know.
Okay, everyone has
in
their ups and
honesty,
downs.
right?
Everyone has their ups and
Absolutely.
downs. And
Absolutely.
yeah, I've seen him get no love.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, I'm not. That's not to say anything about his material because I think Joe's
Yeah.
material is very good.
Yeah.
I just, a lot of times I've seen him.
The crowd
doesn't really dig him.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Same thing.
And anyway, this time they couldn't help but dig him. Like it was just so like his stuff was just so sharp.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was. He just
I
killed.
love to. I wish I had been there, man.
Yeah.
There's nothing I love more than seeing a newer comic turn that corner.
Yeah.
I fucking love to see
If he
that.
does that, he could like that. Like it was maybe only a 10-minute set.
Yeah.
But if he can expand that, he could middle with that. Like that was so good.
No shit.
In my
that's great
opinion,
for Joe.
in my
man.
opinion,
Yeah.
yeah,
He's
yeah.
been putting in the fucking work, man. Joe hustles fucking hard, man. He hustles a lot more than I ever have in this business.
Yeah.
So it's nice to see him finally getting a little, fucking payback from it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Shane came up after Joe.
No, he had like
Holy
7
Jesus.
comics or something.
Yeah, it was a large show.
extravagant.
And Shane was like, I don't know what I'm doing. No one's gonna make any money. And he was like, I just love this many comics, and I invited
yeah.
all these people, and then they all said yes, and here we go.
Fuck yeah.
We got tons of people. So there was also
Excuse me.
Ethan Gauntz came up.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
okay, and I've
It's not sounding great here,
Yeah.
okay? We got a couple
This is-
Ks there. I think
there was only like maybe in my mind there was really only 2 people that got it from the crowd, like
Right.
Shane and Joe.
Right.
So Ethan Gauntz's stuff was funny.
Yeah.
And it had its moments, but overall it just people weren't giving it up enough for him, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, Ethan's not doing it nearly enough. For as new as he is, he's doing it very sporadically, and it's
Yeah.
tough to be consistent when you're doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
but Ethan's funny, man. He always makes me laugh, and he's a great fucking
and
guy.
another thing, Anthony, I forgot to mention about Anthony Bryan. He looked at his notes a lot. There was a lot of notes for a show where people are paying
Yeah.
$20 to have a big book with you and to go to it that much. Maybe that was like you
Stick to the open
gotta
mics.
have, if it's 10 minutes on it, people paying $20 to get in. You
gotta put the work in, man.
Should have that 10 minutes down.
It's what I loved. I love Darren Frost just reiterating shit I say all the fucking time, man. Stop being lazy. Put the fucking work in. You're not too busy, right? If I'm not too fucking busy, you're not too fucking busy. I mean, let's face it. Most of the comics around here don't have kids. You know what I mean? They don't have fucking high pressure job where they're working 12 hours a fucking day.
Yeah.
Just stop being lazy. Learn your fucking shit.
Yeah.
And some people say, I have a terrible memory. Work harder.
Yeah.
I'm lucky I have a good memory. I feel bad for people who don't. I have a good memory for shit I've written and for, remembering stuff. But I've been in bands forever, right? Trying to memorize lyrics. And, I've been doing it for a number of years.
Yeah.
But if you do have a bad memory, just work harder.
Yeah.
Like, fuck, man. There's no excuse
what
for
it
that.
takes to get it down.
And you know what? If you say you can't, then you're never going to fucking make it. You're not going to make it in this business.
No.
Oh, I can't commit to memory. Well, if you can't commit 10 minutes, how the fuck you ever going to headline? You know what I mean?
At some point, you gotta be able to remember your own stuff. It's
Yeah.
your own thoughts.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't see how it's so difficult.
I get like the bullet points maybe if you're trying to work an
Sure.
IG and you're like, I want to see where this goes tonight at an open
Yeah.
mic maybe. Like this is my
Absolutely.
let's see.
I have no
but
fucking
if-
problem with
On
that
an
at
open
all.
mic, on an
Paying to be
open
there.
mic, that's one thing.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Ticketed
yeah.
show is totally fucking
Yeah.
different, man. But
So
know,
next
that's
up
the way it
was
goes.
Ben McDonald came up, and
and Ben did not slaughter.
no, Ben.
Talk to me.
Ben, I've seen Ben do better in that very room on your show.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
There was a good response, good
oh
love.
fuck yeah!
Remember
he
that
killed,
one?
Yeah, he killed that night, man.
And,
that was a fucking great
Yeah,
set. That was a
great
fun night, man.
Everyone
yeah.
did well that night.
Yes.
And
yeah.
and he got into this thing with this woman in the second row, and it got awkward.
Oh no.
Yeah, and yeah, I think that derailed a little bit of the momentum from his stuff.
Yeah.
And he just gave her, like, 'cause she was still a little bit talking out too much. And
Yeah.
then he just was like, oh, I'm just going to have a conversation with her.
Right.
And it just really wasn't, he had some good retorts and stuff and whatever, but I think it took him out of where he was at in his
Yeah.
material. And
That shit
and-
kills
yeah,
momentum, man.
Yeah.
Like so many people want to rush and do crowd work and stuff like that, but can really fuck the momentum of of what you're doing.
Like, I was
you know?
digging what he was doing. And like I said,
Yeah.
the crowd just wasn't giving it up.
Yeah, yeah.
And and he talked to another girl that didn't seem to want to talk in the front row there, and
Right.
so it was like, okay, these people aren't giving it up, and they don't want to talk to you either.
Yeah, so you got to move on quickly. When
Yeah.
you got to recognize that, right? Pretty quickly on and
Yeah.
fucking move on. You know, yeah. That it's dangerous, man. It's dangerous to go into the crowd on purpose. There's no reason to do it. You know what I mean? You should be showing up there with strong enough material that you don't need to go into the crowd. And if something does happen, you address it and try to make something, funny out of it. But you should be going up there. And like, that's exactly what Darren Frost said, right?
Yeah.
Don't do intentional fucking crowd work.
Yeah. I mean, he Darren Frost seemed quite opposed to
Yeah, he seemed
crowd
pretty
work in
almost
general.
But my fuck,
Yeah.
did he ever do a lot of fucking crowd work Saturday night?
He worked it,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
When it came up, he fucking jumped all over it. That's what I love. That's what I do, right? For me, I haven't done a ton of crowd work because, my material's pretty aggressive, right? So usually people are just kind of on their heels through most of it. But I love doing crowd work. Someone speaks up, let's have some fun. But yeah, man, it can be dangerous. It's too bad that derailed Ben, because Ben's a fucking killer
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't a poor set. In my opinion, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it
I
wasn't
dug
a
it.
bomb, but I'm sure
I dug it.
he probably
the crowd didn't give it up enough.
Yeah.
It was just that. And then Shane came on, and I think a lot of people were there specifically as Shane Ogden fans.
Yeah.
And that they were like, okay, this is the guy we came to see.
Yeah.
And they were willing, and Shane was just Shane doing his thing. So,
Yeah.
you
Well,
know,
and Shane
he
has
was on.
so much experience
Yeah.
going up last in a stingy room. Like, he knows what to fucking
Yeah,
do.
he got it rolling. He got it rolling.
Yeah.
So,
well, and usually the headliner will get a lot more grace from the crowd anyway, because they're like, okay, if they didn't like the person before him, they'll go, okay, well, this is the guy. This is supposed to be the best guy anyway, so let's fucking give it up for him and fresh start kind of thing, right, for the headliner. But how much time did Shane do on the show?
I think it was about 40 minutes. Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long was the show?
Long.
Like
Yeah.
6 comedians then? Shane?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it was long. Yeah, like, it was a good solid couple hours.
Get your money's worth.
Yeah.
All right. Who's your favorite comic around here, Austin?
Local?
Yeah, local.
It was Matt Keenan until he left because he was from Hampton. I'm from Hampton, so
Oh,
I'm biased there.
Jesus Christ.
I know. How dare I support the homer there?
That's like liking the Leafs, man. Don't go so easy. Although
trying to
I
think
do
on
like
the
Matt Keenan as a
spot.
friend of mine, so I'm not
course.
gonna slag him.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying it's easy.
Who's your
You're gonna just go for a guy just
favorite
'cause he's from Hampton.
all around comedian?
My
Like
favorite,
including your favorite comedian overall.
my favorite comedian. Why am I blanking on people's names right now? He's the guy who got he's the guy who got caught diddling in front of people.
Oh,
They were
Louis
making fun of him.
CK.
Louis C.K.
Yeah.
Louis C.K. spoke to me, and then George Carlin,
Nice.
who I got into when I was like a young teenager.
Right, yeah.
And like that whole like fuck the world in my own head.
Yes.
And then he was preaching it like all the God stuff, that's all bullshit. And
Yeah.
I was like, yes.
And it was
he's-
hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like, and he has like, what, 20 comedy albums?
Yeah.
So I just tore through him as a young
Oh,
teenager.
nice.
So yeah, he definitely preached to me at that age.
Yeah.
And just to go through, you don't realize which one's the best, which one's the worst.
Oh, of course.
You just become a fan. You're like, everything's great.
It's all good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So definitely, he's like I'm like on it all time.
Yeah.
And then Louis C.K. I like loved until like got
Yeah.
ruined for me.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you feel that way, that it's been ruined for you and now you can't be his fan?
No, if Lucy
good.
releases a new album tomorrow, I'm downloading
Yeah,
it. I'm paying for
goddamn,
it. If he came
yeah.
to St. John, I'd actually go see him.
Fucking right.
Yeah.
Good answer. I love it. Okay. All right, boys. I think we've talked about comedy enough. I think we came here to talk about, some wacky fucking shit. John, you're in the fucking hot seat. What do you want to start with here on this conspiracy podcast? What do you got in your mind?
Setting the agenda. Conspiracy. I've been digging as far as conspiracy. I've been watching Eddie Bravo, man.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Yeah, I'm
He's the
liking
first
what
guy
he's
that ever
saying.
turned me on to chemtrails. Back in, Christ, must have been 2007 or 8.
Yeah.
Eddie Bravo turned me on to the chemtrails.
Yeah, I agree with a lot of his points of view
Doesn't
on a
Prince
lot of
on that
things.
as well?
What's that?
Like Prince, the music.
Yes.
Like the singer was big on the
Oh, yeah, he was big on the
or
chemtrails
whatever,
as well. Yeah, absolutely.
And Eddie Bravo is big on the flat Earth.
He is indeed. Yeah, he
but
loses me a bit there, even
Yeah.
though I think they do make some good points in some of
into
those
it is what he
documentaries.
says, right?
Yeah,
Look into it.
look into it.
Yeah.
You gotta look into it. What do you make of this fucking
Yeah.
flat Earth? Have you heard this?
Oh, I've heard of it. Yeah,
Yeah,
tons
yeah,
of people
what's-
believe in the flat Earth.
What's your take on this flat Earth business?
A lot of mentally challenged people with a microphone.
Right.
I don't know how.
Like, why were you looking directly at me when you were saying that?
It's
Austin?
good eye
Just-
contact. You know, I was smiling as well
appreciate
to
it.
make it so my
Yeah.
point wouldn't be offensive.
Sure,
No,
sure.
yeah, that's exactly what it. Why can everything just grab traction?
Yeah.
Like, the Earth is flat. I think we all agreed as a society a long time ago it wasn't.
Right.
And now they can just bring it up and people are like, let's roll with this.
Yeah.
That's our guy. Let's
Now,
support our guy.
have you watched any flat Earth like documentaries?
The only
that go
thing
into it pretty deep?
No, I haven't dove into it. I don't want
Yeah.
to dedicate my time to that. I only
It's
see
pretty
like,
obvious that you haven't looked into it.
Yeah, look at quick like clips online
Yeah.
where like there's like this stupid guy setting an egg on a plate. It doesn't
You're-
roll off. He sets
Yeah,
an egg
see-
on the globe and it falls off.
You're giving
Yeah,
the standard.
that
You're giving the
shit's fucking
standard.
ridiculous,
Yeah.
You're giving the standard response to flat Earth. You're at the point where it's
Which
like,
is the great thing
it's
about
ridiculous.
having both of you guys on this
Yeah.
podcast, because you are responding the way that most regular people would respond. It's such fucking bullshit.
Yeah, it's stupid.
But I mean, we have globes. We've had globes forever, right? But
Yeah.
when you dig deep into it, and I don't entertain, I don't believe that the Earth is flat. But when you watch some of the documentaries, they bring up some good fucking points. Might be worth going down the rabbit
I don't
hole.
want to fall for it though. Like, I don't want to have to come back here and be like, I've lost the documentaries. Flat Earth is definitely true. I got the research. I've been doing it because that's the kind of guy I am.
They haven't changed my mind, but
Yeah.
they definitely make you think about stuff.
Okay, look
I feel
at
like I
look
could
at
be
it this
swayed. That's
way.
what I'm scared of.
Look at it this way, Austin. Do you feel like you're going
Good answer.
93 million miles through the universe, chasing a sun that's 93 it's miles per hour, whatever. The sun's 93 million miles away. The planet is supposedly spinning on its axis at 1,000 miles an hour. We're rocketing through nowhere. No one knows. Space is fake. We're rocketing through nowhere. Okay. And do you feel that inertia? If you take a helicopter and go up, guess what? The Earth does not move underneath the helicopter. There's a lot to this flat Earth, and
Yeah,
I'm
but
going to say it definitively right now. Jon Nesbitt is a flat earther.
You are a flat Earth
Yeah.
officially.
You're-
Official.
Official.
I'm out of the closet. Last time I was,
You were humming and hawing last time.
last time I was like, people are gonna hate me so much and be like, this guy's a tool. But I believe it. But I also have other
home.
different points of view where it's a realm. Like, I don't believe it's just a flat plane. I believe that we live on a mental plane of existence, right? So this is basically.
You see the look on Austin's
Yeah.
face right now. I love
Well, like
this.
I was talking a
love
little
it.
bit about consciousness with him during our podcast there, where we the only thing that really exists is consciousness. That's the only thing that actually exists.
And I can believe in that, like a little bit like the idea of what you believe is true. But like you can't feel the world spinning. But I get in a car, I'm not relatively realizing it's going 120.
Here's the reality, Austin. If I believe that the Earth is
We used your
flat
name.
in
Serious.
my existence, guess what? To me, it's flat.
And if Hitler believes the Jews are bad, then
I don't
no,
go-
it doesn't
That's
make
how
you
it all
right.
starts.
I don't
That's how
go
it all
out and
starts.
eliminate
No.
globe people. I don't go out and exterminate globe people. So
What was
so it's
the,
not a fair comparison.
What was the catalyst to make you change, right? Like kind of on the fence, and now you're
10,000 hours of flat Earth videos.
right. Yeah. And so your fear of watching them.
Yeah, I
is
don't wanna-
Yeah, it's well founded.
I gotta.
Now, there is something fucking going on up in Antarctica. That's for fucking sure.
Well, according to some of this material that I've been into, there's a subterranean class of
Do go on.
aliens.
Right.
So this is the Antarctica thing, because there is a subterranean class of aliens. There's one that wants to be a little bit hidden. There's actually two, but there's one that has contact with people a little bit, and that's why John Kerry and Obama and those schmucks are going down there.
McCain was there.
Yep,
He had to be fucking
yep.
lifted out by
McCain.
helicopter.
There's also another conspiracy that McCain was actually executed. There's an execution. John McCain was executed.
Yeah.
So that's a good conspiracy.
aliens?
No, by people.
Okay.
So there, and this is the conspiracy. This is the thing that it has to do with Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh's coming in. The reason why they're it's a big show. There's a lot of show there. It's a distraction from there's actually what's going on behind the scenes. Kavanaugh's coming in, and there's actually going to be military style executions of people within the U.S.
Oh, just the U.S. All right.
Yeah, people.
Jeez,
Well, I
I'm
mean,
starting to get nervous.
their
I'm
scope.
starting to get nervous.
That's their scope, right? So they've got the ability
them.
to they're like. This is from people that are pro-Trump people.
Right.
Okay. So these people believe that Kavanaugh is going to be an arm of an extension that Trump is actually doing. He's actually, when he says, I'm here to clear the swamp, he's actually going to be doing something about
Drain
that.
the swamp, yeah.
Drain the swamp,
Yeah.
whatever he said. But, yeah. So that's the...
That was a great ending, first of all. He just looks over at me nodding. And so, yeah.
You get it? Like, you understand
Yeah.
the concepts
So,
now?
yeah.
It's confirmed.
You're just
All
like
right.
a math teacher after they try to teach you a lesson, and then they're like, you get it? And you're like, no, I found out the
no.
I'm
whole time.
qualifying this. I'm telling you what the conspiracies are right now. I'm not telling you that I sit here and go, oh, I can't wait for Kavanaugh to do something. I
believe it,
actually,
But
So-
you can't, though. But you can't. Wait.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, well, he's probably going to be groping or raping women, is what he's going to be doing, according to the mainstream media, right?
Sure.
And that little show thing, right?
I don't
So-
disagree with you that it is a distraction, though. That's for sure. Okay, we're kind of all over the fucking map. Let's shine the fucking
what you
light on
get.
one here
What do
right
you get
now.
me, yeah.
How about Sunspot Observatory? Are you familiar with this?
Yeah,
right.
I got some people. I know some people, even on Facebook, that the guy who took his car right up and tried to get in there.
Oh, okay, hold on.
and
We're going to talk. But
film
do you know
and
what
stuff.
that? Do you know about the Sun?
I don't have a
Yeah,
clue.
okay,
man.
we
so
do
this
need to
is a-
explain a bit because I know
Yeah.
that Jamie said we should explain this stuff a bit for the
Yeah,
listeners.
absolutely.
too.
So Sunspot Observatory is an observatory. Is it government run or private? I can't remember now. I think it's private.
Spooks.
It's what?
Spooks.
Spooks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, was it in September? I think it was early in
Not that
September.
far back, yeah.
So there's an observatory in New Mexico, and the observatory one day was shut down. It was evacuated. Wasn't the whole town evacuated?
Yeah,
They
with
shut down
a
the post.
radius.
They
cleared it right out.
yeah, and they shut down and took over the post office there as well in this small town in New Mexico where this observatory is. So, of course, anytime that happens, right, they're shutting down the observatory. What did they see in the fucking sky? They shut down the fucking post office. What's going on? The official story is that there was a bomb scare or something. The janitor...
Bullshit. Yeah.
Yeah, some janitor made a fucking bomb scare or something. That's why they shut down the post office. That's kind of the official story. No one's fucking talking about it since, right? It's just falling
Under the
right
rug.
off. Everyone just eats up the whatever the mainstream media tells you, and it's all over. I'm sure John has something different to say about that though, Austin.
From what I saw, there's this guy named Ransom Christoph Godwin. I have Facebook friends with him. He has a
Brag
YouTube
about it.
channel.
Dropping
called
names. He's a fucking
Really?
name dropper.
420 News. Anyway, this guy's amazing. He lives in New Mexico. So
Oh, here we go.
So
Okay.
he was like, hey, I got to go check this out. I'm going to get the truth for some people, right? So he took his mobile over and he happened to come upon a garbage can and pulled out an episode of the X-Files just for shits and giggles,
what are you
which is
talking
funny.
about?
These people, whoever it was that came through, the agents or whatever, they actually were watching episodes of the X-Files at the Sunspot Observatory.
What?
Yeah. Like, how messed up is that?
All right, keep going. Keep
Yeah.
going.
It's like we need to know the script, apparently.
sure.
Right?
Yeah.
So, and so the whenever anything hokey like that has to do with space, I'll use air quotes for that.
Right,
I don't
'cause
believe-
space is fake.
I don't believe it's real.
Right.
It's actually just a different. Aliens don't come from space. come from other dimensions. They're interdimensional beings, which
course.
the three of us actually are as well.
Of course.
There's
Yeah, obviously.
there's 8 layers.
What do you think I'm a dummy?
There are 8 dimensional layers, and you actually have a copy of yourself existing simultaneously on 7 other planes.
7 others.
You,
so
yeah.
so who's doing the fucking math on this? Like who counted them all? Who's been there?
This
What are we
was
talking about
this
here?
information was
Dora the
the Great
Explorer.
White Brotherhood .org. You can get all this
The
information.
Great White Brotherhood.
This
I know.
that's
probably not
That
a-
sounds
it's
like
not-
a dangerous site to
Yeah,
go on.
I don't know if you
doesn't
want that in your
You get on
browser
a list
history.
if you look
It
at
is
that
not
site.
Yeah.
it's not a white supremacist site.
Oh, it's not?
It is
If you have
the
to
Great White.
explain that, it
they,
is.
they are these are aliens that call themselves the Great White Brotherhood. So
Okay.
they this information
And they have a
comes
website.
directly from
Wow, it's nice to see that they're
Bob Sanders is their attaché, their Earth attaché.
Right.
Okay, so they talk to him.
right. And does he run
and
GoDaddy.com?
writes
Like who
the
is this
books.
guy?
He writes.
Oh,
the
he
books.
writes all the books
He's
for these
actually
guys.
going to be on YouTube doing a live stream.
Okay. Well,
This Bob Sanders coming up tomorrow night.
so what do you mean? He's in contact with these white beings,
Yes.
and they've told him there are 8 dimensions.
Great White Brother. If you read the book, I did send it to you in PDF form.
Right.
I've gotten through most of it. I just read it at work when I'm in between a call.
I work at work.
Yeah. I don't know. I read.
work at
I
work.
read.
What a novel idea.
I know, it's crazy.
Well, I'm working. I'm being paid to read this stuff. I'm working hard.
Nice.
So anyway, so I read this and other things in between my calls. But yeah, so with this, so when you're talking about stuff like the Sunspot Observatory, there's a whole different angle to it than what you're actually being told. I mean, you're being told this. What's actually going on? There's an agreement that was made in 1947 during the Roswell landings. The Greys. So these are the little tykes, okay?
Right.
They're
Not the whites.
dumb.
Right.
They're very dumb.
Sure.
Their IQs
white, they
are
wouldn't
only
be, right?
about 80. They're actually a program life
Is it now?
forms.
Is this what the whites are telling you? Because
This is from the
they're
great.
kinda-
This is from the
they're
great.
against the
It sounds like
Greys,
a
yeah.
little racist.
This is from the Great White Brotherhood, yeah. And you know what? When they actually open up their bodies, what they're actually made of is they found a lot of vegetables,
Chocolate.
vegetation.
Vegetation.
Yeah. So apparently this body
you
was
eat them and be a
created a
vegan?
long time ago. Theoretically, I suppose you could. Yeah, if you're a vegan, this is
eat
one
these
way to
aliens
get
and be
around it.
vegetarian.
Yeah.
But-
Vegan meat. I
But
like
yeah,
it.
so these guys are actually they're soulless, and that's when people that have interacted with them have said that information. When you look into UFOlogy, and so this is a lot of common themes where it's like, oh, that little being was soulless and this and that. They're actually being controlled from the other dimension. So aliens can't actually physically come into our dimension unless they get one of these little sort of program life forms, which are the Greys, and their eyes have like covers, okay, and little shields. So they're just cameras, and they're just kind of cruising around, and there's a dude kind of controlling him from. somewhere-
they're like
from-
rovers.
from the nether region.
They're like our Mars
Yeah.
rovers. Almost.
So to come into a 3D from a different dimension, you need to go in there. If you want to interact, you got to have a way to do it.
you got to have a vessel.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. Why don't they just steal like a human vessel?
Well, I mean, they could. I mean,
Right.
there are some humans that, according to this information, the Great White Brotherhood's information, there are some humans that can be controlled through telepathy or kind of a psychic connection.
Right.
The humans that back in the 40s or whatever, 47, were actually kind of controlled into agreeing with this group called the Archons. You've heard of Archons, I'm sure.
I have heard of them. Yeah.
Yeah. So the Archons are our greatest enemy. They're the Earth's,
Are they?
Earth's greatest enemy.
Oh,
Yes.
fuck. Thanks for someone telling me that beforehand.
Yeah. So they're the ones who all the bullshit from all the governments and anything that everyone's doing and the negative shit, the Archons making it happen,
Right.
pulling the strings
Is that right? And what
Yes.
dimension do they reside in?
wherever the astral realm.
Wherever.
Yeah.
So let me ask you about this 8 dimensions and the whites and all this
Yeah.
stuff. Is it just this one Sanders fella that's talking about it? Like, is
Yeah.
this story being collaborated by?
Oh, there's some other people that have similar type information that they've gotten from aliens as well. Like they're talking about the Nordics. You've
Now,
heard
was
of
this lining
the tall
up, though,
whites?
with-
Have you heard of the Nordics, the tall whites?
I have not.
Okay, so
There's a lot of whites in the
they're
story.
yeah, but they're the ones who live underground.
Right.
Yeah, of course.
So yeah.
They live underground.
Yeah.
At Antarctica. Is that
And
what
according to the information, they decided to go underground a long time ago. The Earth has been through a lot of. Apparently, humans have been wiped out multiple times. So it's not just the flood. It's not just the dinosaurs or whatever.
I would tend to agree with some of that. I think that our history here on Earth is a lot older than we.
You're not taught
think it is
the correct
you know.
history in the school books.
Oh, certainly not. I mean, what they teach you in history classes, 100% fucking horse shit.
They're
but
feeding,
I think they're
spoon feeding you.
I think we've been
be
here
programmed.
for a lot longer than we've been able to discover.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think there have been several eras of man.
Yeah, and according to this information, the builder race of aliens made the pyramids of Giza and all those
Who did?
pyramid-shaped nodes that are on the Earth.
Yeah, right.
So they're called the builder race. That's all they listed them as. That's what they said. I didn't have a lot of information on the builder because they were here a long time ago.
I have a hard time with just this one guy coming out with this dimension stuff and all this stuff. I mean, you look at Scientology, right? It was one fucking guy.
I was thinking like it sounds like a lot of like Bible stories, like
Yeah.
the Book of Mormon, like Joseph Smith got told by God, like this one guy.
His stuff does not. It doesn't. If you know a lot about mystics and stuff like that, his stuff actually is pretty simpatico with things like the illusion of Maya, like I mentioned earlier.
Right.
Where he basically he breaks down. If you read it, it's very fascinating. It's a good read. Whether you want to accept it or reject it,
Sure.
up to you, right?
Yeah.
The stuff to go that in depth to explain the actual functioning of dimensions, the functioning of physical matter, the functioning of the illusion, like basically that we're all just in a deception. It's all just an illusion.
Yeah.
Right.
I can get behind that.
Yeah.
I can get behind the idea of like a simulation theory.
Yeah.
That
It's very. If you change the
the
terms,
Matrix,
it matches. It matches.
If you were right.
Some of that one's more believable to me. Like the aliens throws me off. You're like, oh, it could all be a simulation. Like, well, that seems.
Well, if
more
it's a simulation,
possible.
then who set the simulation up? Right?
So,
So that's
okay, that's
the
where you
next
could kinda grab me.
logical
It's more
question.
Yeah,
right?
so it could have been the whites. So I'm going to stop you right there. Now, what obviously I can tell by your facial responses
I
to
can't
what John
hide
was
anything
saying.
off my face.
Yeah, you're calling bullshit on all this, but without really talking about the 8 aliens. Do you believe in aliens just as a broad concept?
As a broad concept, yes.
Yeah,
I'd
you do.
say-
So what is your belief?
I don't.
Like what?
Like,
Like,
if there
what are
was-
your core beliefs? Do you believe in God? Like, what is your core belief? And then let's talk about aliens.
So on I would say I believe not so much in anything religious.
Right.
Like when we're done, we're done.
Yes.
When we're born, evolution more so the thing.
Okay, I
I
like
believe
that.
aliens exist based on a pure statistical number.
Sure.
So there's gotta be if we're here,
Someone's
someone else is
gotta
gonna
be there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like it's the same way like with everything. Like if I enjoy ice cream, someone else is gonna enjoy ice cream. So
Sure.
if I'm alive, someone else is gonna be alive on a different planet there.
Yeah.
I don't know,
And
maybe
now,
I-
have you had an experience? Have you seen anything hokey in the fucking sky or anything? Have you had any personal experience of
No,
it?
I haven't done
Yeah.
enough drugs or anything like that.
Do you do you watch the sky often? Do you look up very often?
No, I think I actually have my head straight ahead too
Yeah.
often. Maybe
Or down to your phone, right?
maybe down. a
Yeah,
little
I think
bit.
a lot of people are doing that. I think that's why they've got away with chemtrails for so long. But yeah, I mean, I think a lot of forward-thinking people would agree with you. Like, it just makes sense if we're here, we can't be. I mean, how goddamn narcissistic is it to think that we're the only fucking
exactly.
people to exist in a infinite fucking universe, right? If there were an entity, and I didn't say for sure there is. John, don't fucking give me the stink eye. All right, space is
looking at
fake. I get it.
Just looking
They're
at you.
interdimensional. It's different dimensions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're not, but you're not keen on Jesus. You don't get into the religion stuff. Were your
No.
parents dragging you to church when you were?
No,
when you were growing
my
up?
parents were smart and let me choose, so it
Nice.
wasn't a big idea. Like my grandparents are hardcore religious,
Of course.
but they never pushed it on us.
Yeah.
So we just got to pick. So growing up, just some people had to spend all their Sundays doing shit, and I got to
Right.
sleep in. I like the way
Yes.
mine worked out.
Yeah,
more.
fucking right.
Yeah,
that makes a
I-
lot more sense.
Doesn't it? Like this
Doesn't
one
matter
just-
what dimension you're in. That's
Yeah,
fucking,
exactly.
Yeah,
More
I got
time
the-
off.
Yes.
I got the documents
Can't-
on Jesus.
Can't
as well.
forget and all that.
We have the documents. Now, what? So, what is your contention? What do you think happened here at this Sunspot Observatory.
Yeah,
I mean, we kind of took a left
Yeah,
turn
what's
there.
going on there?
There's not a lot of solid information about what
Right.
actually happened.
Sure.
It's just that we know that what they're saying happened is likely not true.
So Buddy drove
So,
there and he found these
yeah.
X-Files tapes or whatever.
Yeah,
Ah,
that's
I
pretty
mean,
much
kinda
all that
fucking
I got
goofy, but-
from that. That's
Right.
all I
Oh,
really got
okay.
out of that.
What's
Like,
the theory though?
He
Like,
doesn't have
aliens?
any.
Yeah.
Like, given-
I don't,
I'm
Bit on
saying
that.
my conjecture is that it's connected to all this other stuff with the Antarctic aliens and just the aliens that are in league with the shadow government. If you look up Paul Hellyer, he was an acting prime minister of Canada.
right.
He's the only massive politician at that level that's on record as saying that he's seen the actual. He's talked to people with behind the scenes in the U.S. government and taken a look at the actual information about aliens and so they're real.
He's
And-
still talking.
yeah, he's 90 some years old and he puts out a lot of information
Yeah,
and a
he's
lot
still
of books
talking.
about them. He calls it a book called The Money Mafia, about the
Yeah.
money system.
Yes.
Paul Hellyer is smacking a lot of truth.
Yeah, I'm surprised he has not been assassinated yet.
Yeah.
I think they're just writing him off as crazy.
Yeah, he's just old. They can
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah.
So yeah. I've emailed him. He actually responds.
No kidding.
Yeah.
No
He's a-
kidding.
he's
I
a
just
good man.
imagine what you fucking sent him.
Yeah.
I-
Yeah. Yeah, we had an exchange.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I don't really know what happened there. I mean, I think it's a little fucking goofy. They shut down this observatory in the middle of fucking nowhere. They shut down the post office, evacuate the whole fucking area. I don't know. I want more information, but nobody's talking about it now, right?
It might have
media's
to
all
do
done
with
it.
the contract that they have within their limited amount of abductions that the Greys are allowed.
Whoa, back it up here. You're jumping into that as if I know what you're fucking
Yeah,
talking about. What
that's
what
part
are
of
we talking
the
about here?
Roswell information is that a deal was struck
Okay.
with the negative aliens, and then the good aliens came in after, and then the people had already made a deal with the
bad aliens.
with the bad
Too
aliens.
late.
Yes.
Sold your soul already.
So yeah,
Right.
so that's why we got sent on that path. But there's being released from it currently.
Right.
is the belief anyway.
Do we jump dimensions? Have you jumped dimensions? Do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah. So are you basing on that, like on the Mandela effect?
I'm basing it on my interactions that I've had. Like I've gone, I've just switched my mind, and where you can apparently inside this information you can focus it and switch auras, where you can. It's called auras, right? So each one of those other layers, you can see an aura of a person, right?
Right.
So when you switch to the other thing, then they appear physical in that other dimension there. So you can go wander around for a little while and then interact a little bit over there as that. It's kind of through your mind as that other you.
Right.
Yeah. And so I came
So-
across women with their eyes like that they had no eyes. They flickered.
You like personally.
Yeah.
What about you, Austin? Have you seen?
I've
any
never seen
flickering?
these
You've
women
never
before,
seen them.
no.
Now, first of all, were they hot?
No.
They were not.
One
Specifically.
of them friggin' yelled at me. Yeah.
One of them
It got-
yelled
it
at
got
you?
a little-
Staring at her in the eyes.
Well,
too
I asked her.
long,
I asked her. I
or-
was like, "What's the problem with your eyes?" You know, and she
You
didn't-
questioned
she
her
didn't
on it.
seem to. She didn't seem to appreciate the question.
Is that right?
Just told me to get the fuck out of here. You know, she didn't
Where
swear,
did this
but she
happen?
just
Where,
yelled.
what was the
In
context of
the
where was this?
physical setting would have been Alberta,
You've been
Alberta.
around.
Canada. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I was 20 maybe.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
a
have you
long
back
time
on,
ago.
and we're gonna talk about your country traveling for
Yeah.
sure. So you haven't seen any of these broads.
I haven't know these mystery ones.
I've made a few fucking, I've made a few of them roll their eyes back in their head. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But never.
I've had three. I've even had a run in with one of them, with a person that wasn't involved, was sort of overlapping them, and he got tripped out and he never spoke to me again.
Whoa.
It's a friend of mine. He
Let's
saw
hear
the
story.
eyes.
Let's hear the story.
This guy saw the eyes.
Talk me
It
through
was
it. Where
just
are we? What happened?
At a bank machine.
At a bank
A
machine.
lot of your stories start out with banks.
Yeah.
Like it's consistent.
Yeah.
With you.
It was
Yeah, there
a
was,
bank
uh,
machine in Missouri.
Yeah,
and
I
it
had
was,
triggered
17.
a switch, and
You triggered a switch.
well, I was in a different zone, and,
Right.
And then he was there with me, and then she came into that kind of reality, and then he saw her and was like tripped, and then left. He ran right out, and then after he talked to me about it and was like, "What was that? What happened there?" And I was like,
Oh,
I was
shared
like, I don't
experience.
know if you were ready to see that. or to understand what that was. But yeah, I've encountered those. That's the third person like that I've encountered in my life.
kidding.
So yeah.
How long ago was that particular
That would have
encounter?
been 1999
19.
99 or 2000. Yeah.
Austin looked at it. He's like, there
Yeah.
was a 19?
Yeah, it happened. It's true.
What year were you born?
96.
96.
a
Okay.
couple
so you know
years.
there were 90s.
Yeah.
There was
Yeah.
90s, yeah.
He was still
19s
putting
and 90s and-
triangles in his mouth to discover shapes and
I've never
things. That
thought
was
that.
Austin.
You gotta-
Yeah, you're putting in Lego blocks up his nose. But yeah,
Are Lego blocks triangles? I don't remember seeing many.
you can have triangular.
I guess
Lego
there are
blocks.
a few, yeah, there
you
are a
get
few.
those little whatever kind of. Austin will put anything in there. Yeah,
Yeah, thanks.
Is that true? Will you put anything in your mouth?
At least once.
As
At
a
least
toddler.
once.
As a toddler,
All
yeah.
right. Well, shit.
he's like the
As a toddler, all right.
toddler
This
mentalist.
subject's getting a little
Yeah.
fucking crazy here
yeah
now.
for sure.
Well, let's talk about it. You and I talked about it a little bit. Said we were going to talk about it on this podcast. Michael Obama.
Oh,
Now, before we go any further, are you familiar with this?
I have no clue what's going on.
So there is a conspiracy theory that Michelle Obama is actually a man.
Do go on. I'm interested.
Yeah,
I'm in.
okay.
boys.
All
I'm
right.
writing on
it's
this one.
interesting.
All right,
stuff.
go on. You
Yeah.
go ahead and sell it.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it. 'Cause
Well,
there are some.
to
you know
sell
what?
it,
As-
I'd have to believe it.
Okay.
Right?
Oh, okay. Okay. So don't
yeah.
sell it. So I want your opinion on it.
Yeah.
While you're talking, I'm going to Google some pictures. I'm
Yeah.
just going to type in Michelle Obama
Oh,
man.
you can find some good ones.
And
Of everything you said so far, this is the one where I'm like,
He's in. Look at him. He's like,
I'm,
really?
I'm committed.
Oh,
It's like
shit.
Let's go on.
John's just running his mouth. I'm just tuning out until Michelle Obama comes up, and now I've got a boner. This is awesome.
All right, walk us through it, John.
Well, there's some stuff you can find, like Adam's apple pictures. You can find like where they go through like with her fingers, like the length of her fingers, the
Her
offsetness.
bone structure.
Yeah,
They break down her
that
bone
it's a male.
structure.
It's a male type bone structure. There's video of Barack referring to her as Michael, which was
Really?
the most interesting pointed stuff. Like Michael and I, it's a Freudian slip. It comes out. So he didn't mean to say it, but he outed it. So yeah, that's the most damning stuff that, in my opinion, is that video of him referring to Michelle as Michael.
Yeah, you don't think you make the mistake with your wife there?
Yeah.
Of all people.
Yeah. So and,
So
and
they come out with pictures like this, like maybe there is
Okay.
something under that dress.
Okay.
You
yeah,
know?
the dick, like the dick bulge is probably what you just showed him. Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah, I've seen those pictures as
Yeah.
well.
So and you're not buying it, John?
I don't know. I mean,
Dimensions are okay, right?
I just I place my interest in more like the Obama. If he was to become something with the UN and was still more prominent, now he's just on the speaking circuit, just taking the the corporation's money.
They make so much money doing that. Though.
Yeah,
Ridiculous
and
money.
just propagating their bullshit from the globalist kind of side of things.
with this conspiracy is that those children are not theirs. They're their friends, and that's why their friends are
Oh,
always
yeah,
at the
just-
White House. and-
True enough.
yeah, shit like that. And you're not buying it, John?
I just don't like. I don't disprove it. I don't think that it's untrue, and I don't go either way. Like it's just one where it's entertaining.
It's fun, right?
I think it's cool.
It's fun.
This one,
it
yeah,
just-
this one-
Your face lit right up.
Yeah,
Austin,
this one's
as soon as we
like,
started
you
talking
know,
about it.
But
I can
other than
grasp
pure
all the
entertainment,
concepts.
I don't.
Like-
There's not a lot that I want to chew on because I'm more interested in the the what we're here for. What is this existence? Like I'm more interested in the deeper questions of meaningful things, right? So whether Michelle Obama has a dick or not, it's like it's funny. But I don't need to get I've seen the rabbit hole and I don't need to be down it too long, in my opinion.
So what is your?
But it's entertaining as shit.
yeah,
for
it is.
sure.
That's a fun one.
Yeah.
That's why I brought it up. 'Cause
Yeah,
I
it's
knew
good.
it would put
Yeah.
a smile on.
We can
on
get
Austin's
we can
face
get
over there.
Austin we can reel him back in.
Yeah. Okay. So your belief is this interdimensional kind of belief. So what happens in your world, the way you see it? What happens when you die? What's going to happen to Jon Nesbitt when this vessel is?
Yeah. Well, time's illusory as well, right? So, time is only exists in the 3D realm, right?
Right.
So, you go back to a kind of a timeless kind of state.
Can you be
in-
dead
in
in
my
one dimension
opinion.
and alive in the other ones? So there's 7, right?
No.
Right?
Not according
So
to
you're dead in all of them.
Not according to who? Hold on here.
Yeah.
not
not
according
according to
to
who?
I mean, if you're dead, you're dead. I
not-
mean,
I'm
but
wondering now.
you're still you would just be theoretically you would be out of this dimension. So I guess you're right. You can. You wouldn't have a physical body anymore, but you would be alive in your other astral kind of area body or whatever. Your aura. Your when you go into one of those other states, and then maybe you decide to maybe you decide to have a body again and come back.
Yeah, no, I think like the fact that you could have there's 8 dimensions or 7 dimensions, and like the dimensions could die off, and if they're all commutative between every dimension.
Now
there's
there's an actual
certain things.
There's an actual there's an
This one's what I'm grabbing on.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's an actual order that's
reach a certain
holding it
point,
all
like-
together, though. It's not just so like
not random.
Yeah, you can't just destroy a dimension. You can't just go let's just because we feel like
No.
it.
Now, are these parallel dimensions? Like, are they very similar to this Earth dimension that we're in right now?
I mean,
Or are there completely
you could
different
go to
planes
those.
of
You
existence?
can go to one of those, and you can also.
Well, I can't. I don't know where to buy
you
the
can't-
tickets.
you can get a ticket to one of those.
I could.
You could learn it. I believe you could learn it if basically you'd have to go and hang out with like some. There's
what's
some
the point of
people
it
in
all?
the Himalayas right now that are, and it's been for a while, that there's a being that's been interacting with people and been dispatching people called Babaji or Babaji. Yeah.
It's like a Korean dish.
Yeah. So basically,
delicious.
Babaji is not there in physical form anymore. He may have been at one point, but he interacted with yoga. I don't know, Sri Hanananda or however you pronounce it. I don't know. But he sent this guy to the States, and this is the guy that introduced yoga to the U.S. in the 1900s. And so this was one of the disciples of Babaji that got dispatched. And then there's still a guy that's alive that just spoke in Toronto that went and had a Babaji experience and got some info from him. And so these guys break down. If you listen to their stuff, you can find them on the YouTube. They've got some really interesting stuff. If you look into the Babaji thing, or Babaji, they call him.
Right.
I just like saying Babaji because it's fun.
Sure.
But anyway, so the theory is behind this Babaji thing is that there's been this being, and this goes into the Anunnaki stuff called the Nenshita. Okay, and Nenshita appeared multiple times. So he came in as Buddha, came in as Jesus, came in as Noah, as in Noah's Ark,
Right.
came in as other beings. And every time Enoch, he came in as other beings to bring enlightenment to people. So, and he's kind of got this commitment and this contract to always keep coming in and always have a presence on Earth.
Right, and so he's the one that's maybe like advancing our technology and stuff like that.
He'd be
Oh,
more. He's
more
more
like a-
advancing the spiritual kind
he's
of
always a
health of the
Religious
population.
or
It's not-
godlike figure.
It's not really religious. The fact that it became religious around the Jesus thing was just a function of people took that and ran with it,
Yes, power
and became
play.
a power structure and became a way to like the Vatican and all that stuff and set
Control the
themselves up
people.
as kings, and they sanitized a lot of the old texts, took out a lot of things. Within the old ancient, the old original Hebrews, there's a lot of things in there that they took out about the reincarnation. They're like, we can't have them believe in that shit, or or they won't follow our orders. If they just think they're going to come back, and so there's a lot of stuff that was taken out.
So do you think that he came back now? Because we don't have any like really religious figures, I don't think, active. So is he like something else people would preach to now? Would be like a sports star? Could that be where it went to? Like now he's LeBron James, for example.
King
Like,
James.
everyone's just
now
going
he's
after
King
him.
James.
Jim Carrey.
He might be Conor McGregor.
Jim Carrey went
Maybe
on.
you can worship him.
Check out Jim Carrey's episode on Norm Macdonald. Okay, when
He's
he
on that
talks
show?
when he talks about the sacred secretion. Okay, and he actually dropped it. I don't know if you saw this. You can find it, and it's interesting from a comedy point of view because it's Jim Carrey talking to Norm Macdonald, and he smacked, and you don't hear the sacred secretion much. And this is something that a lot of people that are into this movement or whatever are in the know. This is passed on. The sacred secretion is actually what the Christ is within you, right? So this is when you read the religious texts, they talk about if you want to see the kingdom of heaven, you look within yourself. You look within, and there's an actual physical oil that goes up from your sacral chakra, and it goes up into your pineal
That's
gland.
awfully close to your
Okay, and
penis.
it does it once a month. It does it 12 times a year. Okay, and so basically, there's a way to time it so that you can they call it nirvana, where you can, when you get the timing right, you can go and you can reach this nirvana state. And this is things that people actually do, and go around this is that kind of enlightenment. So if you're getting information from a person that has the ability to do this, you're getting some information that's coming like direct from the source.
Oh, wow.
The source of it all.
So he was secreting on Norm's show.
Jim Carrey basically just broke it down and put it out there, and then everyone laughed at it because everyone thinks Jim Carrey's crazy now. All the stuff they talk about, I don't exist. Nothing exists.
Yeah.
But when you hear him talk and me talk, we talk about a lot of the same things. Like I don't think.
Well, I mean, that's not really a glowing.
Yeah. It's all right. I'll play on Jim Carrey's team any day.
Sure. Why the fuck not?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is he a
boy.
fucking genius or is he nuts? Right.
No,
Once you
he's
have
not
the money,
nuts.
you can do whatever you want. Right?
Jim Carrey knows. Jim Carrey has walked into a lot of ancient wisdom. He's walked into a lot of actual truth.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
He's looking into it.
Oh, he's looked into it.
Yeah.
If you're coming on that show and you're dropping the sacred secretion, you've been poking around.
Yeah.
There's no doubt.
You've definitely been on YouTube. That's,
Yeah.
yeah,
Can I
absolutely.
buy it, Secret Secretion
What's that?
on Amazon? Can I buy it?
Absolutely not. No.
Okay.
No. It's
That's
within,
an
it's
interesting,
inside your body.
That's an interesting concept. I'm going to watch that. I haven't seen him on Norm yet.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
you
watch
research
that
the
and-
sacred secretion a little
Yeah.
bit. You can find a lot of information on it online, and
So-
it breaks it down.
So you're going-
Santos Bonacci has a lot. It has to do with astrotheology as well.
Okay.
So yeah.
So, John, I got to be honest. I mean, if we're trying to indoctrinate Austin.
Oh, I don't try and indoctrinate.
No,
people.
but
I don't care about that.
No, but the thing is, it's you want to help people become awake a little bit. That's
why I talk about it.
I do, right?
Yeah.
I want people to question shit and look for real truths, because what we get from the media and what you get, in your education in this country and in all countries, it's all fucking bullshit. It's all a big swerve. But some of the things that we've been talking about here so far.
Oh, I believe
you
it's
specifically,
woo-woo. I believe it's I'm hitting a woo-woo level for sure.
Yeah,
People are walking
that's
through
right.
like
For-
an advanced level
people are gonna-
course. I didn't take the beginning training. I skipped a few days.
you don't know
and
your
now-
ABCs.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
I'm fully
Yeah, I gotta
aware
get
of what
into this
the
language
way
you're
that,
speaking.
and
Yeah.
it's not.
I
Gonna,
love it for the listeners. First of all,
people are not.
and-
There's going to be a lot of people that are going to reject it immediately and just go on with their life,
Absolutely.
and I'm fine with
and
that.
but that is the problem, right? That's the problem today. But let's back it up a little bit and go something a little simpler, something a little more provable, a little more physical. If you have eyeballs, you can see this. Chemtrails. Are you aware of chemtrails?
I have a very loose knowledge of it. Like the idea
Right.
that planes are shooting out actual chemicals that it holds the population down, like makes them think a certain thing. Like that's the idea, right?
Well,
Like, it causes
there are a lot
aggression
of yeah. I mean, that's what Prince said, right?
Okay, that's the one I must know
yeah,
most about.
you
then,
must
yeah.
watch that video. Here's my stand on it. They're definitely spraying stuff in the air. So they're spraying stuff in the air, and it's spreading out, and it's staying. I mean, any day you wake up and you see a blue sky, give it a few hours, that sky will be white eventually by the end of the day. We don't go to sleep to a fucking blue sky anymore. They're definitely spraying. Why they're spraying, I have no idea. I don't go for that mind control. They're trying to make us aggressive. I would probably say, if I had to guess, I would say they're doing it because there are spots in the sun. There's solar storms. Maybe the sun is too hot. Maybe they're doing it to protect us because we've destroyed the ozone layer.
So it's way worse than anyone knows on low level. I guess.
Yeah, like
okay.
I don't think it's chemicals that are controlling us. I think there are chemicals that are likely bad for us. I mean, any heavy metals and stuff you spray up in the sky is eventually going to come down here and get in our food supply and water and probably absorb into our body too. I don't know exactly why they're doing it, but I would say they're probably doing it to protect us from some kind of solar storm, something to do with the sun, or they're blocking. There's something more going on in the sky that they don't want us to see.
Okay, so you're thinking it's protection. Like it's either protection for our own good because we can't know how dangerous
Or
sun
it could
is,
be just a
or
blanket
it's-
over space, even though it's fake.
Or like
there
most
could be,
people can't handle what they'll see. If
Right.
you don't spray this one day. We're gonna see
Right.
Cthulhu in the sky or something, right?
Right.
Where it's
Who-
just like,
who knows,
Like there's
right?
a giant eyeball right there.
Right.
We see that. It's
Yeah.
gonna freak everybody out.
Yeah.
No one's gonna go to work
Show
on
me
Monday.
what you got.
Yeah,
Maybe there's a
ex-
big fucking head up there, right? And they're trying to blank it out. It's,
Gotta get swifty.
I think it's actually
gonna have
interconnected
to
to
get
the 5G. I don't know if you're
Pardon
aware of the 5G thing
I am
that's
indeed.
coming.
Yes.
I think it's from what I've
5G.
heard that it's connected to the 5G.
Oh, it's 4G,
Okay.
but more.
So yes, 4G,
Yeah.
but one more.
Yeah, I got
Yeah.
that.
So basically, that theory is that we're being once they get the 5G set up, we'll be smacked with so much electromagnetic energy that it'll just be completely harmful physically to us. So that the chemtrails are a precursor to them getting their 5G completely set up.
So I also think there's a connection between the chemtrails and HARP. Do you know what HARP is?
That's the environmental controlling the weather and stuff? That's
Yes.
HARP, right? Okay.
Yeah, that's HARP. No, I mean, that's not in place to control the weather, but I believe that they are with chemtrails and HARP controlling weather, at least making weather events happen. Maybe not controlling our everyday weather, but making things like tsunamis and,
heavy
and
influence.
weather events.
And where do they
happen.
get this ability? They back engineered the craft at Roswell. A lot of technology came from back engineering.
Right? Is that the story where
craft.
HARP comes? So
Yeah. Learned
now,
a lot from that. Why do you think the U.S. had such a military superiority for so long?
right?
Blew up everybody else.
Yeah.
So what is your take on chemtrails? What do you think they're doing up there? Well, first of all, do you believe it?
Yeah,
I
I'm
mean,
buying into
listen,
the
all you got to
negative
do.
aspect of it where it's harmful and it's going to be towards that 5G setup.
Okay.
That's my take on it.
So what I would challenge you to do, Austin, is start looking up more.
Yeah, really.
I see you jogging all the time.
You do, yeah.
on
We got
Crown
that
Street.
awkward
Yeah,
fast, yeah.
yeah, absolutely. But I've seen you at least 10 times jogging on Crown Street. What do? You jog on your
Every day
lunch
during my
at
lunch
work?
break, yeah.
Good for you, man.
Work gives me an extra 15 minutes if I work out. So if I go for a jog
No shit.
over a week, I
Oh.
get an extra hour and 15 minutes. I'm getting paid. So
Oh, dude, that's fucking
it's worth
fantastic.
it's worth my while to go out, go for a walk, clear the head a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man,
That's why I'm out there,
smart
yeah.
move.
what a great incentive from your work. First of
Yeah.
all, yeah.
it's
Smart
good.
young man.
That's fucking tremendous, man. Yeah, well, good for you for taking advantage of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But I would
No.
challenge you to start when you're out for
Listening to
your
stuff, yeah, it's definitely more.
look up at the sky.
up.
Just look up more. Look up at night. Look up during the day because they're not just spraying during the day. They have a very heavy program at night. On a lot of nights too, where you just look up at the moon and you'll see all the fucking chemtrails
No, it's
around the
definitely
moon.
correct because you're never taught to look up.
Yes.
Like it's always you're told not to look down.
Yeah.
Like keep your head up, kid.
Yeah.
So it's always straight ahead.
But
Yeah,
see
I
now,
never look up.
nowadays, everyone's looking down at their phones. Whether they're walking, driving, no matter what the fuck they're doing, they're always looking down at their phones. Hardly anybody is looking up at the sky now, and this is why they're getting away with it. It's happening everywhere, all day, every fucking day, around the globe. I don't know how they're fucking doing it. I mean, just the cost of jet fuel for this big program. But honestly, I just challenge you to look up and send me a messenger every time you think you see some chemtrails. You'll know what they are because it's a big X formation or it's parallel lines. Just keep an eye on it. Keep an eye on it and keep me posted.
like
Let me
being
know what you
doctored.
think.
As far as the cell phones go and the amount of data that they're able to keep and collect on people, they're actually building physically. And I know this girl, Heidi Vandenberg, Channel 27 on YouTube. She,
You know people's names too.
I know her
How many
personally.
channels are on YouTube?
I've been
now?
on.
I mean,
I've been on her show.
at least 27.
I had a segment. I was on there.
You were?
Yeah. They talked
Talk
to me
Daddy.
on there.
What are you talking about?
It was fun.
Channel 27. This is a YouTube program?
Yeah. They basically they do a lot of
What episode were you on?
Vedic astrology. It was like last November. I'd have to track it down. I could send you a link.
Channel 27.
Yeah, Channel 27, Heidi Vandenberg, and they're not hard on the eyes. These two women, her and Jennifer Constantine. They're gorgeous women, but they happen to also be smacking a lot of truth. You watch their show, they get into a lot of geopolitical things, but also they get into a lot of from a Vedic astrology kind of perspective. What's going on, like how you can actually read people and stuff like that. And she did a reading for me. The two of them did. One of them does tarot, one of them does Vedic. And they did an on-air reading. Actually, I had that one done once, and then also I came on and was physically on there. Well, not physically. I was like on the screen.
Right.
But anyway, and there was this guy named Jeffrey Doherty and Trisha Geller, a numerologist from the UK, and the three of them did a reading with me, and they were just nailing a lot. They just nailed everything. They haven't even met me. They're just sitting there. They just boom everything.
Oh, I'm going to check that out.
Yeah.
So before we talk about hot dogs and pizza, and that is a big topic, I hope you know what I'm talking about with hot dogs and pizza.
You're talking about Pizzagate?
All right, there we go.
Yeah.
So before we do that, though, are you familiar with the strange noises heard around the world? Are you familiar
Hey, you
with this?
mentioned that last time.
So did you look into it at all?
I looked into the Denver airport and HARP a lot.
Oh, okay, all right,
And
all right.
the noises, I think, slipped past the goalie there a little
All
bit.
right,
But
so
yeah.
all right, so we
Yeah.
won't hit on that.
Yeah.
Look that up before the next time you
Yeah.
come on, and we'll talk about that because
Yeah.
that actually, I believe, that is also tied into HARP and the chemtrails.
Yeah,
as well.
it's all tied together.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
That's a 3-punch fucking combo.
You've
there.
seen the cities that come up over. You've seen that.
Yeah.
That.
Now-
That airplane thing has been debunked that I sent you with the airplane that stopped. You can it's an optical illusion. You can make an
Yeah.
airplane stop. That's,
Yeah,
I found a video that debunked it like shortly after, and I didn't bother sending you that one. But,
right.
but,
Yes, he's like twisting in the wind. These fucking airplanes stop in midair.
Yeah, that one's BS. Yeah.
Well, okay, listen, I'm going to take a leak. I want you to bring Austin in on the airport, on the Denver airport.
Okay, so we're gonna keep rolling while you're.
Yeah, you
training it.
guys keep rolling. I'm going to take a leak. Bring him
Yeah.
in on the airport,
Yeah.
and what I'll do, I'm going to bring up some images of some of the paintings.
Oh yeah, he
from
needs to
Denver
see that.
Airport. You need to
That's
see
the-
that specifically.
That's the trip part.
Yeah, big time. So you bring him in.
Yeah,
in
and
the
that
beginning.
horse out front. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
horse.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, it's something, man. You got to see it.
His name is Lucifer.
Yeah, until you see it. Yeah.
Yeah, true story.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll return. You bring him in on the airport.
Yeah.
I will not be long.
The Denver airport. There's some good videos you can check out about it. There's all this interesting artwork, post like apocalyptic type stuff
At the Denver
put up
airport?
at the Denver airport. Yeah,
Okay.
and they got this horse out in front that has like these like red demon eyes, and because they shut the airport down to do all this construction, and the word is that there's all these underground tunnels, like it's in prep for basically like the elites for when they go underground when they
Okay,
when
so
they
Colorado's like or Denver, I guess.
yeah, it's
Colorado
one of the
would be
spots. I mean,
place.
I've also seen another thing that's connected with it. I don't know if Mark's aware of it, but there's a whole underground tunnel system underneath the U.S. where they can ship trucks and everything. So you can see where they're getting prepared to go underground for when they, if they decide or when with Agenda 21 to basically get the world's population down to about 600 million. You know, they would get it down,
Really?
get
Like
it
that's
down
something we're gonna
from
put
like
underground?
7 billion. Yeah, like so obviously that would be post
How do I get on that
like
list?
thermonuclear war. I don't know how you get on the underground list, but to get on the eliminated list, you just go about your life.
Okay, I don't want
Yeah,
to eliminate.
yeah,
I'm very much in self-preservation.
yeah. So
Let's see. So Denver Airport.
Yeah, but
that's
that-
one of the main.
yeah,
spots.
Denver Airport. But I got a little sidetracked there with the underground tunnels.
Happens.
But the Denver Airport thing is because they have a lot of underground stuff. It's like a main hangar depot, and it connects with these tunnels as well. But yeah, so it has this art. Like you need to
moving
see it.
Denver.
You can react to it when he comes out from taking a piss there. But when you see the pictures, it'll have a little bit more. It'll hit home a little bit more to you when you look at these photos. They're interesting. That's
You're definitely coming
mild.
down. Like we started off so like undigestible, and now it's coming down to like a level where.
Well,
now you have my curiosity. Like this
Yeah.
level, like
Oh, yeah,
you
I
came
mean-
in way stronger.
yeah. I mean, well, we let Mark set the when I was setting the agenda, and you just let me go. Then it can be very
it
undigestible
wasn't-
for you. But when Mark
yeah.
has it, we can reel it in where
Yeah,
it
like
can be
it was-
more.
How do
yeah.
we make out? How
Not
do
too
we make
bad.
out?
I was just talking about how like
I told
his
him
first
you need to
theory
see the
it was coming in
pictures.
at like 9 or 10 on like the
Oh, boy.
expanding my brain. I was like I
Right.
can't grasp this. Now you
Okay.
boys are coming in at 1, 2, 3, and I'm like
Sure.
okay now it's a little bit more.
Yeah.
I'm following what you're saying now. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm feeling
All right. So
educated.
I've got. Did you tell him about the murals?
Yeah.
He says
yeah. this-
neurals, and that's one of the
Okay.
They
So-
look very post-apocalyptic kind of feel
Yeah.
to them.
So there you
know?
go. There's an example of actually 4 of them at once, and you can expand on that and really.
I hope you got a
zoom
picture of the
in.
horse. Did you get a picture of the horse?
Not yet. I'm going to
No.
bring up the
Okay.
horse next.
Yeah.
Well, they look all really biblical, religious.
Yeah.
Really,
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
and really end timesy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
really.
that's the thing.
You
I actually
know?
like them quite a bit.
They're awesome.
I'd want
it's
this.
good.
Dude,
They're
I'd
awesome.
want this in my
But
home.
a little unsettling
Yeah,
for an airport.
I don't know
Definitely.
if
I,
you-
would,
I don't
I
know
can't
if you
believe
heard
it's like
the-
I'm flying from Denver to some other place. And
Yeah.
like, these are what you see on the wall.
Yeah, that's what you're
With your
seeing.
children.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
definitely like
You know about the part of it where they talk about the underground
Yeah.
underneath it.
Oh yeah.
And but have you seen these videos about the tunnels within the U.S. where they've got a whole shipping system underground?
oh, I have not.
So
heard that.
they can get stuff from coast to coast underground in the U.S. And I've seen videos of actual 18-wheelers going in under the tunnels.
Yeah.
And then coming out and they're like, how long is that? And they're like, oh, it's miles, man. And they tell you where they start. It comes out in like 3 different states over.
Right.
You got spots where you can come up.
so they're talking about doing that like in places like California, when they're going to do for, like transportation of people like underneath the city because it's so bad for traffic.
Well,
you're
they're
under
only gonna,
So the belief is
you know,
that it already exists, and now they're like, okay, people are finally ready.
it's not a
learn about
belief.
it?
You can find physical evidence. You can see with your own eyes that it exists. It's not so much just Jon Nesbitt talking about dimensions, but you can see underground tunnels. You can find video of trucks.
I thought it was like a live horse.
No.
I was
No,
like,
it's a
why
horse
does Denver
sta-
have a
horse-
live horse?
It's a satanic horse statue.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
actually, jeez,
That's Lucifer.
Yeah,
Lucifer is
Yeah.
terrifying.
Right?
yeah, and that's
Outside of the airport.
Yeah.
For
God, what's
for
going
why?
on?
You know.
Yeah, what's going on there?
And the crazy thing is, like, no one will answer any of these fucking questions. Like, what's with the murals? What's with the fucking
well.
horse?
That's one
you
of the
know?
things about when they talk about this whole dark magic thing is to get dark magic to work, you have to put it out there first. Right? That's
Look
what
where
they're
he had it zoomed
with
in.
the
Right in his
right
fucking
up
arsehole.
the old horse.
Good
bung-
for you.
old horse
Austin
bunghole.
is definitely a comic.
You're definitely
I like
a Hampton farmer. You got some experience with the old horse manure and bung, but
No question my hair.
yeah. So that's the thing. Like when you look at the the Illuminati playing cards, you've seen those with where they put all this. You got the old. You can find them before Trump became president. There's like a little image of Trump on there. You got the towers, twin towers going down. All this stuff was all out in the 90s. The Illuminati playing cards. So their whole playbook is all there.
You're kidding.
No,
Oh, I gotta look into
look
that.
into the Illuminati playing cards.
Yeah. I think I need a set.
Oh yeah, you get yourself a set of those. You got a foot ahead, right?
Yeah.
You can see it.
What? How is your brain reeling right now? How you feeling taking all this in right now, Austin?
Like I said, I was definitely getting more digestible as we're going on.
Sure.
Now you're actually at points where I'm like, I want to research into this more. Like, what's going on with
See,
that?
That's the key,
This is
man.
what a
That's
real
the hook,
This is
right?
what a real comedy podcast is supposed to sound like. By the way, this is what it's supposed to be. Just Jon Nesbitt talking fucking crazy, talking shit. Okay, John, here we go. And stop me if we've already fucking hit it. Because I gotta believe
Where does Pizzagate come into?
No, well, no, we'll get to that in a minute.
interested by that one, too.
What is your wackiest belief? Like, what's your way?
I think I
well,
hit some
this is
pretty
what.
good ones
Okay,
there,
so
yeah.
all right, so that's as deep as you go as far as we've gotten.
Well, yeah. I mean, I guess I need a more specific question. What's my whack? I don't know. I don't think it's wacky.
Right.
So it's hard to, you're asking.
Why
that's
why do you keep
formed
saying
a
the
little bit
space is
weird.
fake? Let's go there.
That's just a term. Like, I mean, obviously if you think about it, okay, well, just think about it. You really only know where you are as a point of reference compared to somewhere else, right? Like, where am I? If you think about it, where is here? Okay, so then where's there? You need somewhere else to compare and contrast where you are, right? So if you actually eliminate all this built up pre-concepts and things that's been programmed into your mind about what's out beyond this realm,
what
what's
NASA's been
beyond,
telling us.
when you look up at what they call the firmament, and when it's blue during the day and black at night, and the stars and the wheel, okay, and the ellipse and and you actually, like, I've looked into a lot of in relation to the astrology, the energies that were affected, and I've listened to the mystic, the one that talked to Babaji, explain all basically the way that these are conscious energies that are in the sky. So you have, like, Mars is like a conscious effect on you, like it's actually like an energy that has its own consciousness. So basically everything becomes transmuted. There's only a limited amount of things. There's a finite amount of matter. Okay. So we're here and we're going to be something else at a different time. So you can later on, you can be a star, you can be all these other things, but you can still maintain your consciousness. So that might be some of the wackiest shit you've ever heard. Yeah.
It might be. I mean, I think the space is fake deal kind of comes back to NASA and
Oh, that's all fake. Yeah, that's all
we
bullshit.
only have NASA to go by to tell us what is in space and what it looks like
Mark,
and
let me
what
put it to you this
the
way.
Earth looks like from space. We only have one source
The
for that. It's
Yahoos
NASA.
that are
right?
working over at NASA, I talk to them on the phone.
Right.
They call. They get lines on their copy machine. Why, if they can get a rocket into space,
Right.
why can't they get the lines off their copies?
Right.
You know,
Why do they
can't
have to call you
when
for
it's
it?
something that simple
Sure.
as just putting a little replacement part and then it goes
Yeah,
away?
they can get the fucking Mars.
You know,
and they
and
got to call
Lockheed-
you.
Lockheed
Have you
Martin-
tried unplugging it?
Yeah, same thing. Oh, well, Jim usually takes care of that.
Yeah.
Well, why didn't you get Jim to call?
Sure.
You don't plan much at NASA, do
Yeah.
you? You know, you don't think that
I mean,
far
copiers,
ahead.
it's not rocket science, is
Yeah,
it?
exactly.
You know?
And Lockheed Martin, we can blow up a brown person with pinpoint accuracy.
Right.
But if my copier jams, God damn it, I'm calling this guy, and I'm giving him shit.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I ain't that brainy.
Lockheed Martin can't even figure it out.
No, they call.
All
You know,
right, so-
I speak with other aerospace agencies, and it's not just NASA. They're all calling in.
Yeah.
They don't know how that technology works. Those folks.
There's your magic, man.
It's a
First of all,
mystery.
that
It's
was
a 100-year-old technology.
You know-
They can't figure it out.
You know, minusing your job from this conversation, it was just a great statement. NASA, oh yeah, they call me. They need my help. They call me.
Great conversations with NASA.
I'm on the phone with an aerospace at least twice a week
Right.
from an aerospace company.
Yeah, right.
I'm like, and they're like, they're trying to read the friggin' serial number. They're like, we got V as in Victor, X as in saxophone. Like, you're not playing with a full deck if you think your phonics for X is
You're
saxophone.
not playing with a full Illuminati deck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
X is
So-
in saxophone.
But Austin, the narrative is that, you know, NASA is full of shit. And, you know, everything we see from space that they're
They
showing
faked the
us.
moon landings.
They faked the moon
It
landing.
was
You know,
like
of course, all
Kubrick
that,
put
all
it
that
on.
shit.
You can
But
find that
not just the
online.
moon landing, like almost every image that we've seen. And these images
They're
are
all CGI.
They're all
believe-
CGI.
Yeah.
But they actually tell you that they're not real photographs. They're images.
composites.
Yeah.
They're images, you know?
I can see them
And,
being like heavily edited. What we're seeing,
Sure.
like the picture of Earth
I'd like
is
them
like
to
blue and green. They're both great colors, and you can see like Earth really being like
Okay.
brown and black, and there's smog all around it.
Yeah.
I can see believable that they cover all that.
Take
up
an
and be
iPhone
like, Earth's
7
pretty.
once, go
Right.
up, and turn
That's-
it. That's all
It's
I
like
need.
a concept, like a grasp.
Yeah. Yeah. See, you're almost there.
Take my cell phone up once and turn it and show me what's up there, and then bring it back, and then I'll check my phone.
Yeah.
That's what. And then I'll start believing your bullshit, NASA.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's tough, man. It's tough because we can't, you know, we only have one source for it. That's what I don't like. If we have multiple sources, people taking pictures of Earth from space, okay, well that's definitely whether. But if it's just the one
Have
fucking
you watched
source,
their live feed from the ISS? Have you watched it glitch and fuck up?
yeah,
That's interesting.
There was
when that
something,
happens.
there was
When it
something else,
glitches,
too. There
when
was
they
some-
re-loop their info and it goes and they switch to, oh, this is the live feed, but guess what? You're now looking at it completely instantly. You're now looking at a different continent.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, we're just placing it. We just got a dude that's like, oh, well, shit. I went out for the pizza and somebody forgot to click it on time to keep it the aspect right. And then all of a sudden, oh, now I just got back. The pizza's still hot. Hit this button in time, you know?
right.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. The space stuff interests me. Of course, we all want to know what the fuck is out there, right? I mean, I think it takes a little of the allure off when NASA goes, "Oh, we've got it all figured out." You know, this is Mars, and this is and this is the Earth and stuff.
We know more about the outer space than we do our own oceans.
Yeah, absolutely. About our own selves. I
Yeah,
mean,
it
think
seems hard to
about
believe.
think about dreaming, right? Like a third of our fucking lives.
Well, I got a story for that.
Okay, hold on. So
Oh,
a
my
third
goodness.
of our lives are spent dreaming. We live this other
Yeah.
life, right? Every fucking day we do it, and we have zero understanding of it. None.
Yeah.
Fucking no understanding of how we spend a third of our lives as human beings, and have, since our inception, obviously.
Yeah.
That I find, I mean, that's what we should be
You ever
looking
have
into,
a
you
lucid
know?
dream, Mark?
I've had
Where you take control,
I've
where
had-
you realize you're dreaming.
I have had 2 lucid dreams and 1 out-of-body experience.
There you go.
And they were on purpose. I had books and I was studying them.
Yep.
And I went, they were obviously coaching you how to do it, and I did it and was successful. The out-of-body experience one scared the fucking shit out of me.
Mm-hmm.
I was living in Skyline Terrace up on Mystery Lake Drive, laying in my bed. I was maybe 16, maybe 17, reading. My buddy gave me this book, and I read it and followed the instructions. And I did pull out of my body, and I raised up to the ceiling in my bedroom and turned around and looked down at myself, and it scared the shit out of me.
You went to that third
because
point of
I
view
hadn't
perspective. Yeah.
I hadn't got far enough in the book to read how to get back.
Yeah, you don't want to be
And I
messing
was
around.
and I was conscious of it. I was while I was looking down at my body, I was conscious of it. Now, listen, this may have been a fucking dream, because when you do that out of body experience, you have to get to almost like a dream state to pull it off. So it very well could have been a dream. Sure felt fucking real when it happened, and I was terrified that I wouldn't be able to get back, and I came back.
Yeah.
But I felt myself come back and wake up. And it felt like that experience happened. However,
And you felt
I
your
do
teeth,
have to qualify
and you
it
felt
by
the
saying,
weight of your body after that.
That's right.
Yeah.
I was very, aware of my physical being when I returned.
Yeah.
But again, it's hard to say what it was because
I feel the same way when I'm too high.
right,
Like,
yeah,
especially like edibles or something. Like I feel like I'm watching myself. You're explaining it very well.
right, yeah. But
like-
this could have been a dream because I was putting myself in almost that state. So it's hard to say. And the two experiences with lucid dreams, and they were back to back, one day and then the next day, because that's what I was into at the time.
Yeah,
and I actually was able to control the dream and control my actions in the dream.
Yeah,
You know,
I had a-
control my
you do
environment. It was
mundane
very-
things when you realize you can control it? Like, is it like, oh, I'm in a dream? Do you make it so something appears slowly?
To be honest, this was so long ago,
Okay.
Austin. I don't really remember.
I have a very
I remember the
recent
out of body experience a lot more than the lucid dreaming. The lucid dreaming, I would say, was a lot like you ever see Beetlejuice?
Yes.
It was kind of like that, in that kind of a landscape.
Okay, really?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
but again,
it'll be trippy.
could have been just a regular dream where the dream was I was controlling the dream, right?
Okay, so
I mean,
I had
I know
a-
it gets kind of fucking deep and stupid, but yes, I have had those
Yeah.
experiences. So,
So I had one not that long ago, a couple months ago.
right,
And
lucid or out of body,
lucid dream.
right?
Okay.
It's fascinating me. I wish I
So,
could get into that zone.
And there's a big story, and I've been waiting to debut this because it involves a friend of ours, the Rev.
Breaking news.
Okay.
Oh fuck, here we go.
The Rev debuted the bit, and he told me, okay, you don't tell anybody. You got to keep it under wraps until I do the bit, right? And,
so he shared the bit
debuted
with
it
you
on
before
the-
he okay.
Yeah, well, he didn't tell me what the bit was, but I know what inspired the bit was this interaction between he and I, and so he debuted that in St. Stephen at that People's Pub show.
Okay.
But anyway, and then RF tried to roast me for it when I pulled, which is funny. But anyway, I wasn't having it. But anyway, so
I feel a roast battle coming between John and Arif. Actually,
I'd watch that.
yeah,
that'd be
who the
interesting.
fuck wouldn't? That would be
interesting.
very interesting.
yeah, I would just do his voice the whole time. That would be cool. Yeah, but so this is the lucid dream that I had. Okay, so I realize I'm dreaming. All right, and then I'm hanging out with the Rev. I'm in Maine. I'm at his house. So I'm like, okay, we don't go into his house. And this is a key thing. He's like, yeah, people come to my house. They don't generally go in and stay on the yard.
Yeah.
So we go on his. He's
got a very small house, so
yeah, I just
makes
saw
sense.
the size of his house and it was small. And I went on his land and so we're walking around, he and I, and also his wife is there and his little girl, and she's got a baby.
Madeline has a baby.
No, his wife's he's got two. And in my dream, it was a daughter. It was a girl.
Right.
Okay, and this is
The
key.
baby was.
And this is key.
Okay.
Okay, so this is a key point of
Right,
the
right.
dream is that he not only has one daughter, but he's got a baby girl.
Okay.
Okay, and so we cruise around, and I see how the lay of his land, like there's like a marshy areas, and then I ask him about that, and he's like, "Yeah, you're right. There's like low
And
lying."
you've never been to Alexandria?
Never been
where
there.
he lives.
Never
Okay,
been to
yeah.
his land,
Right.
except for in this dream.
Right.
So where I'm like, well, I'm realizing I'm dreaming. I might as well check things out. So I go around, and I get to this higher ground area.
Are you walking or floating?
Yeah, I'm walking
You're
around just
walking
like a
normally.
regular person.
Okay, yeah.
And so it's a little bit Beetlejuicy because it's still like I know I'm dreaming, so I know it's not real.
There's some
but I'm
surrealism.
but yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's surreal as well. But those are the parts that cling to the reality. Where me seeing his land, seeing his house, seeing his wife. These are the main points.
Right.
With the extra daughter. Okay. So I sent him the message. Right. And we got.
What do you mean? You wake up and you send him a message.
When
"Hey,
as soon
had
as
a
I get up,
fucking
I'm
dream."
like, Giles, I can't not tell you this.
Yeah, right.
Okay. And I describe his land to him, and then I tell him, about the baby as well, right?
Right.
And then, so then he comes to town and is on the showcase. This was back in, I guess it was August.
Right.
Comes to town, does a set. So we talk before the set, and he's like, I haven't had much with my wife lately, but recently, we had it in the car or whatever or something, and
Right.
and then now she's getting morning sickness, and this is the conception day. They believe she's pregnant, and there's the same day that I had the dream. She was conceived the same night
Dude,
that I
that's
had that
fucking
dream.
crazy.
So this is the thing. The Rev is all like blown away by this. And this is where he debuted the bit and was showing like John forward our messages, me describing it,
Right.
and then the sequence. And then he messaged me later. And was like, "Guess what? I just told him get her, tell her to take the test."
Yeah, yeah.
And he goes, "Yeah, she came up positive. She's pregnant."
You're fucking
And,
kidding me.
Yeah, I believe it's going to be a girl. They don't know the sex yet. But
Yeah.
so they were like, "Listen, we're going to wait to bring this out. We're not going to tell everybody that she's pregnant because I knew before they knew."
Sure.
And
But you just told everybody.
No, but now
the
that it's out,
SPLUDECAST.
he's,
Yeah, right.
he's told it it's out there.
Oh, is it?
On
Okay, because
Friday,
I
he
thought
did the
Rev and
bit.
I were friends, and he hasn't
He was
fucking
waiting.
told me.
He was waiting until he did the St. Stephen's show to
Right.
debut it, the information, and to make the announcement about the pregnancy. So now it's out there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm assuming that I didn't see the bit, but he's showing John Forward the messages. So
Yeah.
John Forward has read it all. So I'm assuming that I can talk about this because where he's like, now he told me basically after the St. Stephen, you can tell people.
Sure, yeah.
So I was sworn to secrecy before this.
Wow,
So,
that's fucking
Talk to
incredible.
the Rev
And
about it.
First of
Yeah.
all, it's incredible because they had the hardest time. I'm sure you've heard it in his act.
Yeah.
They have had the hardest time just conceiving Madeline, the girl
Yeah,
they have
they
now.
had an I Mother Earth concert, and I'm friends with
in
Brian,
Canada,
Brian
yeah.
Byrne. Yeah.
That's right, yeah, and
Yeah.
he's got a big, he's got a big bit about it, right?
Yeah.
How great it, conceived in Canada.
Yeah, Our Lady Peace, I Mother Earth. Yeah.
Yeah, and wow,
In
that's
Moncton.
incredible. First of all,
In Moncton,
congratulations
where I
to
was
Rev.
born, but yeah, coincidentally, but yeah, yeah.
So you feel you got this kind of
Well, the Rev, me and the Rev have a
child
me and the Rev
control
haven't.
over fucking-
No, there's
Don't
no
dream
control.
about me, John. For the
I'm
love
just
of
telling.
God.
I'm just telling you the synchronicities. I'm not.
You need to
saying
have a
anything.
dream about Austin having
In
a
a
vasectomy.
Ferrari.
Yeah,
Yeah.
having a vasectomy.
I wish I
and
could
a
dial
fucking
it up.
Bugatti.
I wish I could dial it up. I didn't ask for the dream. It just
Yeah,
happened.
right.
It just happened.
Man, that is a super fucking interesting story.
Yeah.
We're gonna end close to that story. That's really something. That gives me something to fucking chew on. What do you make of that, Austin?
My brain wants to say coincidence, but you've been hiding the story for a while, even from me.
I
Like,
alluded to it
yeah,
on the Frogcast
he
from
talked
the
about,
car
like,
there.
he's like,
the
I
other
can't
night.
say anything until after the bit's done.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I wanted the kid to come out a girl now.
Yeah.
We'll
I
see.
want to get like the
We'll
next
see.
level.
Yeah.
We'll see. You know,
Or a
that's-
hermaphrodite. I mean, either way, I think we give you the win.
Whatever happens, yeah.
Yeah, or even if she has a vagina in the middle of her back or something, I think we gotta give
Put
it
one
to you.
on there somewhere.
Or if he turns out to be a homosexual too, I think you get the win that way too. But that's
There's many ways.
That's
Like,
long ball.
It's
though.
not
It's
about
gonna take
winning
a long
and losing.
time to.
In my point of view,
see
it's not
that
about
play out.
winning and losing. But
Yeah.
if it's a boy, so what? I mean, but at least I got the pregnancy right.
It's
but,
always winning and
but,
losing. Always.
yeah.
Well, I think it's pretty remarkable just to you're describing his land to him. Right?
Yeah, really.
It's pretty remarkable.
Yeah, he was freaked out
that,
at the time.
Like that part is fucking way over the top. I mean,
Yeah.
that's really something.
Yeah.
That really is something. Man, I think in the future I'd like to have you and the Rev on here.
That would be a good
Together.
podcast. We've had
Yeah.
some good conversations. He and I. He's talked about the times that he spent with elders.
Yeah.
And so they go and they do these smoke things, and they go off. And elders know about DMT. And,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And you
Ayahuasca,
talk
I
to
mean, that's
you talk to things that have been passed down through the natives. They know about. They're like, yeah, of course, aliens. Of course,
Yeah.
we know about these spirits.
course.
We know about this. They've been,
of course, man.
visiting
They've
the
been
planet
carving on
forever.
fucking caves for
Yeah, they're all aware of all that
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, so it's just a common knowledge.
That is a very, very intriguing story.
Yeah,
I'm terrified by you now.
Well,
You scare me.
I mean, I don't go on and on about stuff very personal that thinks people might call me crazy for nothing. Like, I mean, like when I put it out there,
Never
there's a
got that.
reason that I'm saying, like, there's a reason that I'm saying what I'm saying. It's because I believe it, and I'll put myself out there and I'll be behind it. So,
I love it.
yeah,
Now, does this terrify? Like, are you going to continue to do a podcast with this guy? Is that the?
I think he's committed to it. We bought all that gear.
yeah, I'm financially obligated. To
Yeah,
go
even
do
though
it now.
none of his stuff works, but mine worked. But yeah,
Yeah. Right.
So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So does this change your perception of John? Is this
I never dove this far in with John before.
Yeah.
I knew it was part
Oh,
of
it's an
it.
eye opener.
And
I'm
now-
glad you came tonight. I'm
Yeah,
glad you
now
came. And you got
it's-
to see some of this.
We're
Yeah.
on different level talking terms now. No,
No, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't
we're gonna
think
jump
there's-
right into this now. With no what's work going on or whatever. It's
Yeah.
like, what about this?
you got some fucking meat on the bone?
Yeah,
here.
really.
Yeah.
Well, this is why we started the podcast. Like when you asked me,
One, the straight
when I
man, and
asked
you're-
you, well, you're not so much a straight man. You bring a lot of comedy, and there's a lot of energy. There's a lot to like. I'm entertained by your parts of it as well.
Oh, yeah, big time.
So you're definitely, but you're more straight as opposed to the worldview,
And
right?
sexuality.
The more regular kind of,
You're a fucking sheep, Austin.
standard-
He doesn't
yeah.
want to say it. Okay.
Yeah.
You're a bit of a fucking sheep.
sheeple,
right?
sheeple,
Little
they call
bit.
it. But I don't want to put a negative spin on it. But
But you know what? If you don't go looking
Yeah.
for this stuff,
Yeah.
you're not going to find it.
I never
right?
got. Yeah, no
That's
one's
the
ever introduced me to this.
Well, everything happens for a reason. So when people are drawn into your reality, some people are there to teach you things. Some people are there for whatever, different various reasons, right? So yeah.
Dude, thank you both so much for coming out here. Anything you guys want to add or plug? Or is there another topic? We still got Pizzagate to get
Yeah, I
to.
wonder
I
what's
feel.
going on with that.
Yeah, I mean, it just depends. If you want to shut her down, we shut her down. But we can
I
always
promised
save it
my
for
wife I'd
another
be done
part-
by 10.
part 2
okay?
or whatever.
And
yeah.
we've got 11 minutes. If
Yeah.
you want to get into Pizzagate,
we can do a quick Pizzagate.
Let's do it. Let's hit on it.
Yeah.
A little bit, and then we'll wrap.
Yeah.
Take it away.
Well, Pizzagate, from what I've heard, and I've heard a lot about it, there was it came out originally from WikiLeaks, Julian Assange, right? And this information came out about John Podesta and these codes, okay, within here, talking about the Hillary Clintons, the Bill Clintons, and all these people. And so basically,
The high-powered people.
Yeah,
Bilderberg
the
group.
codes are
Sorry,
the
John, just-
pedophiles.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with the Bilderberg group, the Illuminati? Like, do these terms mean anything to you, really?
I've heard them before.
Heard them, but not-
I'm not
okay.
that deep into it.
All right.
No.
Bohemian Grove, look into that. That's another one.
All right, carry on, John.
But yeah. So the
It's
codes,
pedophilia. The whole thing's
and,
pedophilia.
Okay.
Specifically, the Pizzagate story is around this Comet Pizza place in Washington, and Heidi Vandenberg and Jenny Constantine actually went there and checked it out.
Oh,
So
no
these are
shit.
the girls that I from that
Channel
channel.
27.
Yeah, Channel 27.
Yeah.
Plug. And they went and got a feel for the energy of the place, and of course, after all of this came out, a lot of the stuff was taken down. Because they had a lot of really trippy art inside there, just really creepy, like the spirit cooking thing, this Abramovich with the. There was a lot of art related to that because the theory is that they drink they need they actually are sort of vampiric. There's something about the energy of the blood of kids. Okay, so not only are they pedophiles, but that there's kids. That are going missing all the time. So the
All the time. The numbers are staggering.
Yeah.
Of missing children.
Yeah.
It is a staggering number.
and it's even related into with the Queen and stuff like that. So like the
Vatican,
Queen,
the Queen,
yeah, they're all in on it.
politicians. Yeah.
Yeah, so like the Queen came to like BC, and all these Aboriginal kids went missing, and then someone tried to out it, and then he had a heart attack. They heart attacked him.
So the pizza and the hot dogs
Yeah.
thing. So the
That's the codes. Those are the code words.
That's
yeah.
right. And so pizza is code for little girl.
Yeah.
And hot dogs are code for little boy.
Yeah.
This actually comes back a little bit to Michael Obama.
Yeah,
Because
he's
during
involved in this shit,
Yeah,
yeah.
during Obama's presidency, he was questioned about $80,000 he had spent one day on hot dogs.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you've ever, been to the grocery store and bought hot dogs. They're not real.
not
They're not
pricey
real.
of me,
They're
no.
not real expensive.
Yeah, they're really just buying
$80,000 on hot
That's a lot
dogs.
of
Buying children is what's happening.
Yeah, so if Obama's buying hot dogs, that's little boys in that that language. Michael Obama, little boys.
Yeah.
That just
Even
could be his
there's
preference.
the theory is that Chester Bennington and Chris Cornell, both those suicides, they were both. If you look at physically Chester Bennington and John Podesta, they actually look almost like he looks like a younger version of Podesta. That Chester Bennington is actually John Podesta's bastard child or whatever.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah,
Oh,
and that he was outing this stuff, like he just couldn't live with it anymore. So he either actually did kill himself, or they was taken out because he got into this information and was going to out it even more. And
Yeah.
Cornell was one of his good buddies,
Right.
And he was the one earlier, and he was fighting out against. He had some social advocacy groups against this, fighting against abducted children.
Yeah.
and trying to slave trade of children and stuff.
That's
like
right.
that.
And the story was he was going to come out with it.
Yeah, and that's why
then all of a sudden he
his
committed
wife
suicide.
plays into the narrative. Although she knows, like, there's a lot of evidence around Cornell's death, the bruises on his body, the fact that he was 6'3", hanging himself on a door. He just couldn't do it. The physical impossibility, the fact that he looked
Now,
like
was
he
he a red-
choked,
was he a
like
red scarf?
Choked, physical choke contusions around
Right.
his neck that was swept under the rug.
Now, did he hang himself with a red scarf?
It's possible. I don't know.
Because there's
I
another.
thought it was a belt.
There's
maybe.
another major conspiracy about all these. A lot of people that are connected with politicians who have sensitive information on politicians somehow all committing suicide using a doorknob
Yeah.
hanging themselves from a doorknob with a red scarf.
Yeah, that's a lot of HRC stuff with Hillary Clinton. There's been a
That's
lot.
right. Yeah,
There's
it's
a
like
lot
the
of
Clinton
bodies.
murders.
That's the calling
There's a lot
card?
of
That's
bodies.
the calling card, the red scarf on the
people know,
doorknob.
There's a lot of bodies
Yeah.
in the wake of that woman.
Yeah, it's kind of a message like, hey, if you got information,
And
you better
can
keep your
watch-
mouth
if you
shut or
watch-
you're going to be hanging from a
If you
fucking
watch Hillary
doorknob by a
Clinton's
red
body
scarf.
language, you watch her in interviews, the joy and the celebration of like when they destroyed Libya, like her just like the amount of people that were just killed and how happy she was, and you've seen it, and she even bragged about getting she was a lawyer before she got into a full politician,
Right.
when Bill was still a governor of Arkansas.
Yeah.
And she got and she knew, and she even came, it's on tape that she got she knew he was guilty. She knew he was a pedophile, and she was proud. She got him off. So she's been into this for so long that she defended a pedophile, got him off, and bragged about it on tape.
A lot of people from that law firm committed suicide.
Yeah,
too,
that's
and
the
I use air
Vince
quotes there.
Foster stuff.
If you ever, if you look in, if you just go to Google, Austin, and type in the Clinton murders, you're gonna see there's at least 56 people.
I've heard a lot about them.
You've heard- yeah.
Like, those ones I've heard come up, like a lot of sketchy things.
Oh,
with
okay.
That family, yeah.
All right, so you already have some awareness
Some
of that.
awareness of that one, yeah.
Yeah. I think the list now, I think officially on Google, it's 56 people that have been connected with them, whether through Whitewater, through the any scandal they've been involved in. The number of people who have, quote unquote, committed suicide. Damn. Some of them by shooting themselves in the back of the head.
That's how I would do it.
Right. A lot of plane crashes, small planes going down and killing people. And but the number actually, what I'm hearing now is somewhere around 87 now of people that were connected to the Clintons who committed suicide. I think we all know one person maybe in our lives who committed suicide.
Yeah.
I don't know about 87. I mean, they know a lot more people than we do too, and have been associated a lot more, but that's a hard number to ignore.
Terrible ratio.
Yeah.
Well, the fact that
Yeah.
they were the political ramifications of those deaths is what makes them extra
and the
more
timing,
suspicious.
right?
I mean,
There's a lot of timing
the
where
guy from the DNC that was outing that hack was wiped out.
he was the head of the DNC
just
for a
gone
while.
down on the street. That was a murder.
Yeah.
And, that was never solved, obviously.
Yeah, and they were talking about the DC sniper too. Might have been.
I remember that. That's you're going back. Yeah, the Washington sniper. That's interesting.
That was an interesting time.
Yeah,
I
remember
man, did I ever jump into that story? I loved that that thing
That was
captivated me.
fascinating, man.
I was in a metal band at the time, and man, that really inspired me to write a lot of fucking lyrics.
The Las Vegas shooting, the actual
of
truth
course.
behind that.
Oh yeah, okay. You know what?
That
Next time,
Patsy Paddock, how much of
Yeah.
a patsy he actually is.
oh yeah, big time. And I mean, there is just. Have you heard anything about a conspiracy involving that Las
This one I
Vegas
haven't,
shooting?
no.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm the gauge now. Like,
Yeah,
what do
exactly.
people know? Like, it's like,
Yeah.
you know, most people know this one.
Because some of them are mainstream, like the Clinton murders,
away.
right?
That story's
yeah.
gone away so much. They do not want the truth to that getting out. The
Yeah.
Las Vegas, they've swept that. You don't hear about
It's like Sandy Hook, right?
Like that
It's
was
just
a lot of people
disappeared.
that were killed.
No, it's like the
that you
Clintons
don't
and, like,
hear
Putin.
about.
It's like obviously like
Yeah.
people know like mess with them, you're dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Wide.
Yeah, I mean,
We should. I'm going to bring you back obviously a lot sooner than last time, and I think we should really delve into that Vegas deal.
Oh, yeah.
I've
Yeah,
been looking quite a bit into
yeah, it's
that.
very interesting.
Yeah, it is very interesting.
Yeah, this Jay Campbell guy that's going to be interviewing the guy from the White Brotherhood, he's done a lot of research on the Vegas thing, and he's talked to people that live in Vegas, and he lives in California. This guy, and so he's.
Here's the thing that throws me a little bit about
information about that.
A little bit about that. I mean, if this Sanders guy is in contact with the fucking whites and the dimensions and all this shit, why is he even fucking worried about something like the Las Vegas shootings?
Oh, Sanders is not. This is the guy who's bringing Sanders onto the channel.
Oh,
Sanders
okay.
has nothing to do with the.
Oh, all right.
that
You know what I
information.
mean, though?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, if you're here with the fucking
I'm
whites
just-
and
I'm
the
going with
dimensions,
the- one
what
of
are
the
we worried
guys-
about? A
Yeah.
fucking
one of the
false
guys
flag
who's going to be
shooting or something?
interviewing Sanders is the same guy
Okay.
that has the information on the Vegas stuff. So it's just a coincidental thing that.
Yeah.
But I just had to mention it because he's the one who's going to be interviewing him.
So let's end it there.
Yeah.
But I think next time you come back, I think you come back too, Austin. Do a little research on this stuff,
Yeah.
and maybe
I'm
you've
not
changed
going
your
to
mind
sleep
on
tonight.
this.
I know what time. I'm
Just
just
get your
sitting
feel
there
for
doing
it. Just get your
Yeah.
opinion. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
it.
because as a guy who's not really delved into this,
Not at all.
So you don't really have an opinion on any of them. Maybe look into them a little bit. develop your opinion, whether you're on board or not. Either way,
Either way, it'd be interesting.
I think it'd be interesting for someone who we just kind of indoctrinated into the fucking way.
Just
getting
into
a
the
little
idea of looking. That's all we've really.
It's looking
them
into
the
the
idea.
idea of a wake up call,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I think that would be interesting if we come back and we'll delve into the Las
yeah.
Vegas
Yeah,
stuff.
there's a lot of stuff we
definitely
can,
look
we can
into
get
the.
days and days worth of stuff. Like, there's no
Absolutely.
doubt, yeah.
I like to use this has been very interesting, talking about space and dimensions and stuff. I'd like to get into more tangible stuff like this Las Vegas shootings, like the chemtrails, like the noise heard around, because it's something that people have been experiencing in this dimension.
For
whether they've been experiencing it on a flat plane or a fucking globe or a pear shape. I think Tyson that Neil deGrasse Tyson came out and said he thinks it's a pear shape, right?
He's hilarious.
And maybe we'll talk about the Northern Pole, South Pole, just about the swap places.
Actor.
And
he's an actor.
Yeah, oh, he's definitely a fucking actor.
He's got an IMDb profile and acting credits.
He's a scientist.
You can find out his acting salary. Yeah.
John, thank you all for the fucking great information. That was fantastic.
Oh, it's been fun.
Yeah, you've given me some stuff to look into.
Yeah.
We've certainly given
You
Austin.
changed my life. I was
Right?
I was a happy little sheep, and now
Now you're stuck.
I gotta do research.
Yeah.
We count motherfuckers like you when we go to sleep.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. We know who you are. You're out there.
Check out the frog podcast. Well, you just called it the Frogcast. It's Plastic Frog.
Listen to Plastic Frog.
When can we expect? Because you guys went like a month between
We had
episodes.
to
buy
we
equipment.
had to get gear.
Right,
It was,
okay.
it was a monetary
Yeah.
one.
What
Now-
does the first episode sound like? Pretty terrible.
Well, Matt Keenan,
Sounds better
we
'cause it's all
recorded
Matt
on
Keenan's
his
equipment.
Oh,
stuff.
on his gear, so
Yeah.
it sounded good.
Yeah.
So-
and we did it in his basement.
One
at his
sounds
place,
good.
so.
Two's pretty terrible. Three should be
The
better.
content,
It's not terrible.
the
It's just a little
content is
distracting in the
good.
beginning, that's all.
I think that it's a better podcast to listen to. Like, it's going to be more entertaining, and I get into this a lot of stuff.
Right.
In interesting things.
Oh,
if
lovely.
you like that kind of stuff, I get into a lot of stuff. But we get into there's a lot of funny takes on it too. Like
Yeah.
it's an entertaining spin on a lot of this stuff.
Yeah, right.
That's that. But yeah, sure, sound quality. Don't listen to it for that.
Well,
Listen
more
to it for
importantly,
other things.
when's the next one going to happen?
Well, he's going away for a couple weeks on a vacation, so
Jesus,
we're gonna.
where are you going?
We're gonna record.
Florida.
And anytime you want to come on our podcast, you could do that as well.
Fuck,
you know?
please.
So-
Next
We'll find
episode. Bring me
a
on.
recording
Yeah.
spot. Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Hey,
So-
if you guys want to do an episode with me, come out here. We'll record it, and I'll just send you the fucking data.
Yeah,
Sounds
that's
beautiful.
that's
Right?
fair
Whatever you
enough.
want to do.
Yeah.
All right.
We'd
Listen,
love to do that.
we'll
Yeah.
talk soon, boys. Thanks a million for coming on.
Yeah, awesome, man. Thank you for having
Hey,
us.
do you guys have a show you want to plug?
I got
coming up?
roast
What do you
battle
got?
next weekend, right?
Oh, right, you got roast battle
a week
Oh,
from
fuck.
today.
We could have really got into that
Yeah,
too.
I'm
You're
going
taking on
against
Dan
Terrio,
Terrio, just
yeah.
beat John Scovnielson.
That's right. Yeah.
You got eliminated. So, but your next show is at the R Bar.
Third
November-
Saturday of the month.
Third
Our bar,
Saturday of
St. John,
November.
New Brunswick. 1 year on stage. Please come out and see me.
Yeah, 1
Maybe
year
you saw
anniversary.
the first one. You saw the year later. I got a lot better. Maybe I didn't. Come find out.
Yes,
Yes.
I'm going to be there for that. Thanks a million, boys.
Yeah, awesome.